Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to PrepFusion. So we have been studying about vector integral calculus, right? In the last lecture we started, we have solved a lot of problems. Most of the concept we have already seen, now we need to solve the PYQs, okay? Some questions we are going to solve. It could be PYQs, it could be self-made question, it could be questions from some standard textbook. So these questions we are going to solve. You can see this question, then this question. So in that manner, a lot of questions we are going to solve. And with that we will build up some concept as well. One or two concepts are left. They will be built up with that problem solving only. So start solving this question. Sir, it doesn't feel like the question that we have previously solved. Sir, x dy minus y dx, what it is? It is simple thing, no? What we have previously solved? We have previously solved a dot dl. Now, if you are moving on xy plane, you already know what is your dl. Sir, I already know my dl is dx I cap plus dy j cap. And what is given here? Sir, x dy minus y dx is given. This is the value of your a dot dl. DL you already know. DL you already know. So can you make A from here? Can you make A from here? X dy minus y dx. That means minus y dx. This would have been multiplied. So A would have been minus y I cap plus x j cap. Say yes or no? A would have been minus y I cap plus x j cap. Then DL would be dx I cap dy j cap. So minus y dx plus x dy. Minus y dx plus x dy. So this would have been your E. Say yes or no? Is that understandable to you? Right? Now, is it a closed curve? See the curve, no? They are saying that you need to move on this particular closed line. So, it is a closed line? Absolutely. So, although they have written, although they did not mark this closed curve here, it is not necessary to mark this sign. You need to understand, you need to see the curve. Is it a closed curve? Yes, it is a closed curve. Then what I can do? I can make somewhat like this. And what that would be equivalent to? Sir, I know that it will be equivalent to del cross A dot ds. Why I am doing so? Because I know that, sir, here I will have to calculate a lot of path from P to Q, then Q to R, then R to S, then so much of a problem would be there. So what I did, del cross A dot ds directly I can take. I already know what is my vector A. I already know my dl value. From there I go to the vector A. Can I calculate del cross A? Yes. Do I know the region bounded? Yes, sir. I know the region bounded as well. Right? So del cross A I want to calculate. So del cross A I will calculate. What that will come out to be? You can do it on your own. I cap, j cap, k cap, I cap, j cap, k cap, del y del x, del y del y, del y del z, minus y x 0. So when you solve it 0, for j cap it will be 0, for k cap it will come out to be 2. 2k cap. It will come out to be 2k cap. So it is coming out to be 2k cap. Now what is your ds vector? What is your ds vector for this? You are moving on xy plane. You are moving on xy plane. So ds would be dx dy. What will be the direction? Use the right hand rule. See the circulation. Circulation is anti-clockwise coming towards you. So plus k cap. Now k cap dot k cap will be 1 only. So eventually what you are getting? 2 dx dy. This is what you are getting. Let's do one thing. Keep this one aside. Keep this calculation aside. So this calculation you need to do on your own. They have directly given you a dot dl. They have directly given you the value of a dot dl, which is x dy minus y dx. Dl I already know. From there I can find out the vector a. I could have find out del cross a as well, 2k cap. What is ds? ds is dx dy, k cap only. So from there I got this answer. That means I am supposed to calculate the surface area. I am supposed to calculate this surface area and then simply multiply with 2. So what is this surface area? So this surface area will come out to be, sir, there is one rectangle I can see. This width is 3. This width is 3 and this width is 2. So 3 into 2, 6, and here what is the radius? This radius is 1, right? So this is a half circle and this is a full rectangle. So full rectangle will be 3 into 2, 6 plus pi r square by 2, pi r square by 2. So what is the answer you are getting? 12 plus pi is the answer that you get. The answer that we are getting is 12 plus pi. That's it. Is that understandable to you? It is not a difficult task to do. These kind of questions are very simple. In 2 marks, they are free 2 marks there. Okay. Just get the value of a del cross a dot ds dx dy k cap. K cap will become 1. 2 comes outside. You simply need to calculate the area, which is pi square by 2 plus 6. That's it. So pi by 2 plus 6. So 12 plus pi is the answer that you are getting. Next question. This should be done on your own very easily. Is it a closed curve? Absolutely. In the examination, they may avoid this sign. Okay, they may avoid this sign. Although as of now they have given, but in the examination this could be avoided as well. So a dot dl over a closed curve we need to find out. Sir, here if I find out over the closed curve, sir, a to b, b to c, c to d, sir, too much of moving I will have to do. What I can do, sir, I know the theorem. A dot dl would be equals to del cross a dot ds. There you go, sir. Over the surface S. What will be the surface S? So directly I can see that, sir, this will be the surface S. This will be the surface S. Very easy for me. So can I calculate del cross A? Absolutely. Del cross A I am supposed to calculate. Del cross A. So what will be the del cross A I will be getting? I cap, j cap, k cap, del x, del y, del z. In the examination, very quickly you will be able to write down all these things. Del y, del x, del y, del y, del y, del z. Okay. Xy, ax cap, x square, 0. Look, now I am pretty sure without even doing the calculation, I am sure that this value will come out to be 0 and this value will also come out to be 0. Why is that so? Because you know that vector A is in the xy plane, right? Vector A is in the xy plane. You need to find out what will be the direction of del cross A. The direction of del cross A will be perpendicular to A as well and del as well. The direction of del cross A will be perpendicular to the del operator and it will be perpendicular to vector A as well. Right? So it will be perpendicular to the plane containing both of these del operator and vector A. Let's just say this is your del operator, then what will be the direction of del cross A? That will be coming towards k cap only, no? So if your vector is in xy plane, no? If your vector is in xy plane, if your vector is in xy plane, let's just say your vector f is something ax cap plus something ay cap, then you would know that del cross f would surely come out to be something ak cap. You can do it on your own, you can check it. Always it will be the scenario. Always it will come out to be something ak cap. Because direction has to be perpendicular, no? It could be plus ak cap, it could be minus ak cap, that I don't know. But surely you would see that I cap term would come out to be 0 only. You can say this is 0 minus j cap, this is also coming out to be 0 only, plus k cap. Although it is not necessary, no? That it will come out to be 0. The point is that they also has to be a function of x comma y. What I mean to say is that they also has to be a function of x comma y. They also has to be a function of x comma y. Then you can say, what I mean to say that here, although it is a needless discussion, in the examination you will directly calculate, you will not think too much. Okay, you will directly calculate. But here someone would say that, sir, with respect to I cap if I am doing, so differentiation of 0 with respect to y will be 0. Let's just say in place of x square, if it was z square, then answer would come out to be 2z, no? So they have to be a function of x comma y. F of x comma y, ax cap plus f of plus g of x comma y, some different function ay cap. If this is the scenario, no, then it would come out to be in the a cap direction, ak cap direction. Is that understandable to you? So not a necessary discussion. Okay, not a necessary discussion. Just simply do the calculation in the examination hall. Don't think too much. Okay, simply do the calculation. Here you would see that this is coming out to be 0, this is coming out to be 0, then j cap, this is also coming out to be 0, and this is also coming out to be 0 only. Now simply the answer would be k cap. Although it is a separate theorem which is known as Green's theorem, but we will never learn it. There is no meaning. You will have to remember another statement that f will be like the vector field f will be having a function of x comma y, another function of x comma y in ax cap and ay cap direction. Then your final result del cross f would come out to be in the ak cap direction. So all these things we will not remember. Okay, so simply we will do this calculation, whatever the theorem, Stokes theorem we have learned. So that Stokes theorem we are applying. So 2x with respect to y, if you differentiate, this will come out to be x. So x k cap. So del cross A is coming out to be x k cap. Now what is your ds vector? Ds vector is nothing but dx dy. Use the right hand rule. It is coming out to be plus k cap only. So what you are getting? Sir, del cross A dot ds is coming out to be x k cap dx dy k cap. So k cap dot k cap will become 1, right? So on the next page, I can see that x dx dy k cap dot k cap will become 1. X dx dy. Now over the region R I am supposed to calculate. Over the region R I am supposed to calculate. So you can see that, sir, what I need to do, I need to take a strip. So if I take a strip, sir, I can directly see that y is going from 1 to 3 and x is going from 1 by under root 3 to 2 by under root 3, right? This is what I can see. X is going from 1 by under root 3 to 2 by under root 3. So x dx then dy, x is going from 1 by under root 3 to 2 by under root 3. 1 by under root 3 to 2 by under root 3, and y is going from 1 to 3. Y is going from 1 to 3. So y is going from 1 to 3. This will be x square by 2. 1 by under root 3 to 2 by under root 3 dot dy. So 1 by 2 comes outside. 1 to 3, that is 4 by 3 minus 1 by 3 dot dy. So 1 by 2 into 2. What is the answer you are getting? 1 is the answer that we are getting. This is the answer that we are getting. So what is the answer? Answer is option C, which is 1. So very easily you will be able to get good marks in the examination. A dot dl, del cross A dot ds. Simply calculate the del cross A. Sir, very simple. From here I can see that it is coming out to be 2x minus x, x k cap. ds I already know, sir. dx dy k cap. So from there, sir, x dot dx dy I am supposed to calculate with the limit of x going from 1 by under root 3 to 2 by under root 3. So this simply integration I can do, x square by 2, 4 by 3 minus 1 by 3. Answer will be 1 only dot dy. Okay, so dy going from 1 to 3. So answer will be simply 1. Very simple question, very straightforward concept. These kind of questions you will never struggle in. Next, let's go to the next question. Consider a closed surface S surrounding the volume V. If R is the position vector of a point inside S, then and n cap is the unit normal on S, then find out the value of this. Basically, what this is your ds vector only. Okay, this is your ds vector. They have given this as your ds vector. This is ds vector. You can read what is n cap. N cap is unit normal on S. So basically what they are saying, your ds vector could be written as ds cap. ds is the magnitude and ds cap they have given as n cap. So this is what they are asking you to calculate. And it is a closed surface. What it is? It is a closed surface. So can I write it down this as A dot ds, where your A is 5 position vector R? Say yes or no. It is a closed surface. They are talking about a closed surface. Closed surface. So if they are talking about a closed surface, sir, I know one theorem which is known as Gauss theorem. Del dot A dv I can apply. Now what is the value of del dot A? Del dot A. Del dot A. Sir, 5 is a constant value which can directly come outside. I told you when it is constant it can directly come outside. So 5 into del dot R. What is the value of del dot R? Do you remember this? What is the value of gradient of R? That will come out to be nothing but 3. What is your R? R is nothing but x I cap y j cap plus z k cap. I told you in the examination they may avoid giving the value of position vector R. Directly you know that it will be x I cap y j cap z k cap. Okay. So del dot R I already remember it is equals to 3. Do you remember what is del cross R? So del cross R is 0. And do you remember what is gradient of R? So that is nothing but R cap. So all these things it should be there in your mind directly without even doing any calculation. Okay. So 5 into del dot R, this will become 15. So what is the answer you are getting? For the volume V, 15 dV. Okay, so 15 come outside. So what this is simply telling you the volume of the, this is simply telling you the volume. So it is nothing but volume only. So what will be the answer you will be getting? 15V. 15V is the answer you will be getting. 15V is the answer you will be getting. Okay. So A dot ds you are supposed to calculate. A you already know, ds you already know, del dot A dv. Del dot A is coming out to be 15. So in place of dv, this is simply the volume. Put V here, 15V is the answer, option D. In the examination, a lot of people will forget this 5. They will only calculate R dot ds. Although people remember the answer directly. R dot ds will be del dot R dot dv. Del dot R would come out to be 3. So answer will be 3 into volume. So 3 into volume, directly they will click on this, which will be wrong. 5 they have deliberately given so that in a hurry you get the answer wrong. So 5 into 3, 15. So these kind of minor mistake you need to avoid in the examination. Let's go to the next one. C is the closed curve defined over a circle. This x square plus y square equals to 1 with C oriented clockwise. You need to find out the value of this integral over curve C. What is your curve C? Curve C is nothing but a circle only. curve C is nothing but a circle, which is x square plus y square equals to 1. X square plus y square equals to 1. Curve C is nothing but a circle. Which is x square plus y square equals to 1. So on this circle, in which direction? In the anti-clockwise direction. In the anti-clockwise direction. So first of all, you let me know what will be your ds vector. Why I am caring about ds vector? As of now, only anti-clockwise direction. Since it is a closed curve, you would already know what I am trying to do, right? What I am trying to do? I will try to apply Stokes theorem. But here first I need to find out what is your dl. So dl will be simply dx I cap plus dy j cap. From directly here you can you find out vector a. Vector a will be x y square I cap plus x square y j cap, right? X y square dx plus x square y dy. So this is your vector a. So what you are supposed to calculate? You are supposed to calculate a dot dl. That will come out to be del cross a dot ds. So here can you let me know what will be ds vector? So ds vector will be nothing but dx dy, ds vector coming to az cap direction. So that would be k cap. So del cross a I am supposed to calculate. Del cross a I am supposed to calculate I cap, j cap, k cap. Del y del x, del y del y, del y del z, x y square. Again the same condition, right? Do you notice? Again there is the same condition. So what answer you will be getting? K cap. So here partial differentiation with respect to x 2xy and partial differentiation with respect to y 2xy. It is coming out to be 0 only. Del cross a is coming out to be 0. When I calculated del cross a, what answer we are getting? Calculate del cross a, what answer you are getting? 0. So here it is coming out to be 0 only. Nothing, no ds, nothing is required now. So what is the answer? Answer is coming out to be 0. So in this question, what you have seen, that del cross a came out to be 0 and your a dot dl, closed line integral a dot dl will surely come out to be 0 only, because this is 0. This is what you have seen. Understandable? Okay, so what is the answer here? This is the answer. Answer is 0. Let's see the next question. Let's see the next question. This is the next question. Again, you need to calculate the line integral. The vector fr is given, defined over a circular curve, circular arc C. They have told, what they have told? Circular arc C. Circular arc C. That means only this arc. Only they are talking about only this arc, nothing else. They are not talking about the whole closed path, okay? You need to read the statement carefully. Circular arc, that means only this arc they are talking about. That's it. Only this arc. With the radius 1, that means this length is 1. So since this is an arc, so this length will also be 1 only. This is what they are caring about. Are you able to understand this point? So it is like a 45-degree angle part of x square plus y square equals to 1 circle. Like this will be the whole circle, no? They are talking about only the 45-degree part of this. So only here you need to move, not the complete path like this, okay? Only on the curve, only on this much path. Only on the this much path you need to move. Understandable? So this is what they are asking. So is it a closed path? No, it is not a closed path. Not closed path. Not closed path. Not closed path. So it doesn't mean that what does it mean? It means that you cannot apply Stokes theorem. No Stokes theorem. Stokes theorem cannot be applied. Stokes theorem cannot be applied. Okay. Jadeja theorem can be applied. Poor joke. Those who know cricket, they will understand. Yeah. So what we were saying, fr dot dr, we are supposed to calculate. What will be the dr? Dr is dl length here. Dr is nothing but dl length. So what will be dr? Dr will be dx I cap plus dy j cap. This is what we are supposed to calculate. So here Stokes theorem cannot be applied. We will have to solve it now. So what we are supposed to calculate? Fr dot dr over the curve C. So minus x I cap plus y j cap dot dr, which will be dx I cap plus dy j cap. So what you will be getting over the curve C, you are supposed to calculate minus x dx y dy. So for this curve C, what I will do, I will apply the polar coordinate system. On this curve C, you let me know on this curve C, what is the value of x? Sorry, what is the value of, on this curve C, what is the value of r? Sir, value of r is always fixed at 1. What is the value of theta? Sir, theta is varying from 0 to pi by 4. But value of r is always fixed at 1. So can I say that if I apply the polar coordinate system, x equals to r cos theta, x equals to r cos theta, where r is fixed at 1. So x equals to cos theta, y equals to sin theta. This is just the polar coordinate system I am using. What do you mean by polar coordinate system? For the polar coordinate system, you take a random r, you take a random r. Say yes or no. You take a random r which is making an angle of theta. So here the value of r is fixed, that is 1. So making an angle of theta, how much angle it is making? Theta angle it is making, which is varying from 0 to 45 degree. If you move on this curve, then your theta would vary from 0 to 45 degree, remaining r will remain always constant. So what is your x? X coordinate would be 1 cos theta. What will be y coordinate? 1 sin theta. So 1 I don't need to write down. So x coordinate is cos theta, y is sin theta. So what will be the value of dx? Dx will be minus sin theta d theta. And what will be dy? Dy will be cos theta d theta. Say yes or no. Right? So from here if you put x cos theta, dx will be cos theta sin theta, and here sin theta cos theta. So what you will be getting? 2 sin theta cos theta. Basically, if you put x dx, then cos theta sin theta would come, so it will become cos theta sin theta d theta. Here also sin theta cos theta d theta would come, so it will become 2 sin theta cos theta d theta, which will become sin 2 theta d theta. Did you understand this point? What is y dy? Y dy is sin theta cos theta d theta. And what is dx dx? That is also sin theta cos theta d theta. So what that would become? That would become 2 sin theta cos theta d theta. And that is equivalent to, over the curve C, that is equivalent to sin 2 theta d theta. Okay, now you know that limit of theta is going from 0 to 45 degree. So limit of theta is going from 0 to 45 degree, sin 2 theta d theta. So what is the answer you will be getting? For sin 2 theta it will be cos 2 theta divided by 2 with the negative sign, limit going from 0 to pi by 4. Okay, you take 1 by 2 outside, you can interchange the limit if you want to kill the negative sign. So 1 by 2 cos 0 is 1, cos pi by 2 is 0. So what is the answer you are getting? 1 by 2 is the answer that you are getting. So always solve these kind of questions with patience, you will always get it correct. What is the answer? Answer is 1 by 2. Answer is 1 by 2. In the previous ones, yeah, so here answer is 1 by 2. So did you understand how do we solve it? Polar coordinate system, I hope you know the meaning of polar coordinate system. You take the value from the origin at a distance r. When you are moving on the curve, the value of r is constant, which is equals to 1. So x equals to 1 cos theta, y equals to 1 sin theta. Dx would become minus sin theta d theta, dy would become cos theta d theta. Both of the values we need, got the answer, that is 1 by 2. Is that understandable or not? Very simple thing, very, very straightforward as well. Okay. Next question. This question we are supposed to solve. You need to calculate a scalar field, a scalar potential phi has the following gradient. Gradient of phi has been given. You need to calculate gradient of phi dot dr on the curve R. The curve C is parameterized by following the value of integral is. What you are supposed to calculate? This gradient of phi, can I call it a vector A? The vector A is given. Vector A is given. What is that? Yz I cap plus xz j cap plus xy k cap. This has been given. What you are supposed to calculate? You are supposed to calculate A dot dl. This is something you need to calculate. A dot dl. Again, why I am putting the closed curve? It is not a closed curve. You are supposed to calculate A dot dl over a curve C. What is this curve C? Sir, this curve C is, look, this line doesn't have any meaning, that it is some curve. It is some curve on any curve. Let's just say I draw any curve. on any curve, if I take some point which is x comma y comma z, what will be the, if I take any point x comma y comma z, what will be the position of vector of this? This will be the position vector, no? So this is what they are saying, that on curve you are taking a particular point, on curve you are taking a particular point whose position vectors are defined by x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap, which we already know. But parametric equation they have given. What is the parametric equation? Parametric equation that they have given is that x equals to t, y equals to t square, and z equals to 3t square. So basically what would have been the equation? The equation would have been y equals to x square and z equals to 3x square. This would have been the equation. Or you can say z equals to 3y. This would have been the equation of the curve. So from here they would have determined that x is t, then y is t square, and z is 3t square. So this kind of equation we have already solved with t going from 1 to 3, with t going from 1 to 3, with t going from 1 to 3, t going from 1 to 3. So if t is going from 1 to 3, that means x is going from 1 to 3, y is going from 1 to 9, and z is going from 3 to 27, right? So actually you are moving from 1 comma 1 comma 3 to, when you put 3 here, this will become 9, 3, this will become 9 and 27. So the question was that you are moving from 1 comma 1 comma 3 to 3 comma 9 comma 2 comma 27 with the equation of this curve. This kind of question we have solved. When we need to solve this kind of question, what we need to do? We need to assume x as t, y will become t square, z will become 3t square. Then we need to find out the limit of t, that how t is going. So x equals to t, so I would know that t is going from 1 to 3. So this process we used to do. In the question they have given this process, they have already done this process. What question we have solved? There this particular thing was written, that you are going from 1 comma 1 comma 3 to 3 comma 9 comma 27 with the curve y equals to x square, z equals to 3x square. So then what we used to do, that sir, everything we need to take in one single variable. Everything we need to take in one single variable. Sir, for that what I need to do? X equals to t, y equals to t square, z equals to 3t square, and t would be going from 1 to 3. This is what I need to do. Here, what is the value of dx I am getting? So dx is dt. What is the value of dy I am getting? dy is 2t dt. And what is the value of dz I am getting? 60 dt. Right? And here if you put a dot dl, what is a? This is your a dot dl. dl is dx I cap plus dy j cap plus a dz k cap. So what you are getting? Here you will multiply. What is your dl? dl is dx I cap, dy j cap, dz k cap. So yz multiply with dx, yz dx plus xz multiply with dy plus xy multiply with dz. Now you know that, sir, y, what is the scenario? All this scenario, let's keep it aside. You already know one thing, that sir, y equals to t square, y into z I need to put, y into z, y into z. So 3 t to the power 4. What is dx? dx is dt plus x into z, x into z. This will become 3 t to the power 3, x into z, 3 t to the power 3 dy. What will be dy? dy will be 2t dt. dy will be 2t dt plus xy, xy will become t cube dz, dz is 60 dt. Right? This is what we are doing. So what answer we are getting? It was a very simple question. These kind of question needs to be solved on your own. Okay, you should not be looking at the solution here. Simple thing is there. Yz you need to put, yz is 3 to the t to the power 4 dot dt. So 3 t to the power 4 plus xz. What is x into z? X into z is 3 t to the power 3, 3 to the power 3. dy is 2t dt. So it will become 6 t to the power 4, 6 t to the power 4. 3 into 2, 6 t to the power 4, 6 t to the power 4 plus xy dz, xy dz, xy dz. Where is xy? X into y will become t to the power 3. What is dz? dz is 60 dt. So 6 t to the power 4 dt, 6 t to the power 4 dt. So what answer you are getting? From 1 to 3, 15 t to the power 4 dot dt. So 15 t to the power 5 divided by 5, going from 1 to 3. So this is 3 to the power 5. What will be 3 to the power 5? 3 to the power 5, 81 into 3. 3 to the power 5 will be 81 into 3, which I should know, but let's do with the calculator. 4 243 minus 1. So what answer you are getting? 726 is the answer that you are getting. 726 is the answer. That's it. Okay. So this is how you need to solve the problem. Just you need to have some patience in these kind of questions, but everything is very straightforward here. Nothing difficult. Everything we already know. Although we know more things than this. Like in the examination, if they would have framed the question in a bit tougher manner, then also we would be able to solve. Here they have framed it in an easier manner actually. Okay, they have already given you the parametric equation. If they did not give us the parametric equation, then also we would be able to solve it. How we would be able to solve it? X equals to t, y equals to t square, z equals to 3t square. If I know from where to where my xy coordinates are going, from there I could get to know from where to where t would go. T would go from 1 to 3. Simply put the values, job done. Okay, next question. Yeah, sorry for the interruption, guys. Yeah, so solve this question. What answer are you getting? Sir, closed line integral f dot dl I am supposed to calculate, sir. Closed line integral f dot dl. Sir, in the examination I can solve this question within seconds, sir. Del cross f dot ds I will do. Then I will calculate, sir, del cross f. You can calculate del cross f. Sir, my del cross f, when I calculated using the determinant, it came out to be 0. So, sir, 0 dot ds, answer is 0. Sir, I will click on this one. Minus 0.66. Wrong. Why is that so? What you have applied here? Stokes theorem. Is it applicable? Stokes theorem you have applied. Did you even think that Stokes theorem is applicable or not? It is not even applicable. Stokes theorem is not even applicable. I told you function has to be continuous at all the point in the region bounded by the closed curve. What is the region bounded by the closed curve? So the region bounded by the closed curve is x square plus y square. What is your closed curve? X square plus y square equals to 1. And what is the region bounded by the closed curve? That will be nothing but this particular region. This is the region x square plus y square equals to 1. And this is that bounded region. In this bounded region, is there point 0, 0? Absolutely, sir. What is the value of vector field f at 0, 0? If I put 0, 0, sir, it is coming out to be undefined. If it is undefined, then what you can say? You cannot say anything. That means Stokes theorem not applicable. Not applicable. Because of this scenario. It is undefined here. Right? So here you will have to solve the question by your simple concept. F dot dl we need to calculate. That means f dot dl only we will have to calculate. What is our dl? So dl will be dx I cap dy j cap. Dx I cap plus dy j cap. So complete process we will have to follow. So what will be your f dot dl? F dot dl will come out to be I cap will be multiplied with I cap. So this will come out to be minus y dx upon x square plus y square plus x dy upon x square plus y square. Okay, and the closed line integral you are supposed to calculate over the curve C. Now on this curve C, what is the value of x square plus y square? Sir, on the curve C, the value of x square plus y square on curve C, the value of x square plus y square is nothing but 1 only. X square plus y square is nothing but 1 only. So minus y dx plus x dy. Minus y dx plus x dy over the closed curve C. Now on this curve C, what is the value of r? The value of r is 1. What is the value of theta? So the value of theta is going from 0 to 2 pi. So can you let me know on this curve C what is the value of x? X will be cos theta, y will be sin theta. Right? So on this curve x will be cos theta, y will be sin theta. What will be the value of dx? Dx will be minus sin theta d theta. And what will be the value of dy? Dy will be cos theta d theta. Right? So what you need to calculate? Y dx. That would become sin square theta d theta. Already there is a negative sign. So it will become sin square theta d theta plus x dy. It will become cos square theta d theta. And the limit of theta we are supposed to put, it will go from 0 to 2 pi. So sin square theta plus cos square theta will become 1 d theta with theta going from 0 to 2 pi. So what is the answer we are getting? 2 pi is the answer that we are getting. So 2 pi will be the correct answer. So you can solve the line integral on your own very easily, but make sure one thing, that if you are applying your Stokes theorem, then take care of the thing that the function has to be continuous all over. So this will be the correct answer. I hope you are able to understand. Okay, a good question. It is a gate PYQ only. I would say important. This kind of question could be repeated as well. Let's go to the next question. Not the next question, next concept. It is a concept of a conservative vector field. What do you mean by conservative vector field? Let's just say there is a vector field F, which is looking somewhat like this. Vector field F is looking somewhat like this. This is your vector field F. This is your vector field F. Okay, just it would be actually somewhat like this. It will be very rough, but still I am making it look somewhat good. Okay, this is your vector field F. This is your vector field F. Now in this vector field F, I am moving from point A to point B. From point A to point B. With the curve on the curve C. On the curve C1. I am moving from A to B. I am moving from A to B. And what I am calculating? F dot dl I am calculating. I am moving from A to B. F dot dl I am calculating. And I am moving with the help of curve C1. With the help of curve C1. A to B I started moving. And I am moving with the help of curve C1. Okay. Then I started moving from A to B only, but this time with the help of curve C2. This time with the help of curve C2. Then I again started moving from A to B only, this time with the help of curve C3. With the help of curve C3. All of them were giving me the same result. When I calculated f dot dl over curve C1, when I calculated f dot dl over curve C2, when I calculated f dot dl over curve C3, all of them are giving me the same result. That means moving from A to B is path independent. What I am saying, moving from A to B is path independent. Path independent. Path independent. Whether you go with the help of curve C1, or you go with the help of curve C2, or you go with the help of curve C3, or you go in any manner. Let's just say you go in this manner. Okay, this is some new curve which is C4. Let's just say I am moving somewhat like this in a straight line from A to B. In a straight line I am moving. Then also I am getting the same answer. This is your curve C4. So if I am moving with the help of curve C4, then also I am getting the same answer. Then your vector field F is known to be conservative vector field. Conservative vector field. Conservative vector field. So did you understand the meaning of conservative vector field? Sir, in conservative vector field, if you are going from point A to point B, no matter whichever the path you are following, f dot dl will give you the same result. This is the meaning of conservative vector field. Say yes or no. Understandable? Very simple, very straightforward concept. Now, this is the first concept. Now the next concept. If I am moving on a closed curve, moving on a closed curve, or better I should write down, calculating closed line integral. Calculating closed line integral. Calculating closed line integral. Closed line integral over a conservative field. Over a conservative field. What do you think? What will be the answer? Over a conservative field. What I mean to say is that I am having a conservative field again. I am having one conservative field again. Conservative field again. This is my conservative field. In this field F, I am calculating a closed line integral. That means from A to B I will go. From A to B I will go. Then from B to A again I will come back. Like A to B I will go. This is the path. And then B to A again I will come back as well. Again I will. From B to A again I will come back as well. From B to A. That means A to B I will go, B to A. This is the path I need to follow. So closed line integral I am calculating. What I am calculating? Closed line integral f dot dl over a curve, over this curve C. This curve C I am seeing. This is the curve C. A to B and again B to A. So this is what I am supposed to calculate. So what this will be equivalent to? So this will be equivalent to that first you go from A to B, f dot dl. Then you go from B to A, f dot dl. So here you will be putting the limit from A to B, and here you are putting the limit from B to A. Can I write down this limit as, and this, for this one, let's just say this curve is C1 and this curve is C2. For this particular thing you are following the curve C1, and for this particular thing you are following the curve C2. right? For the first one, you are following A to B, you are following the curve C1. From B to A, you are following the curve C2, right? Now what I am doing, f dot dl, I am going from A to B with the help of curve C1 only. And now I am interchanging the limit. A to B, can I interchange the limit in this manner? This is your B to A, can I change it to A to B? Following the curve C2, but negative sign will come outside. No, because I am interchanging the limit. I am going from B to A following the curve C2. This time I am going from A to B following the curve C2, negative sign I am taking outside, f dot dl. Now you let me know, aren't both of the things same for conservative field? They are same. They are same for conservative vector field. For conservative vector field, they are same only. Say yes or no. If you go from A to B using curve C1 or you go from A to B using curve C2, both are same thing. If the vector field f is conservative. So what is the answer you are getting? Same minus same is subtracted. What is the answer? 0. That means closed line integral in a conservative vector field will always come out to be 0. F dot dl in a conservative field will always be 0. If you are calculating the closed line integral for over a conservative vector field, closed line integral over a conservative vector field will be always 0. So what this is representing? That f is a conservative vector field. One more important thing here is that this C could be any closed curve in a vector field f. What I am saying, C could be any closed curve in the space. What I mean to say is that, let's just say this is my 3D space, x, y, z, and how my field is looking like, this is how your field is looking like, this is how your fields look like, this is your vector field f, So now you take this closed curve anywhere. Let's just say I have taken one closed curve here, I have taken here I have taken one closed curve. So for this closed curve C1, I calculated, f dot dl, it came out to be 0. Will I say that vector field f is conservative? No. I took another closed curve, which was this. This was the closed curve that I took. Okay. Now I calculated for this as well. It came out to be also 0. Now no matter whichever the curve you are taking, for every curve it should come out to be 0. Closed line integral for every curve it should come out to be 0 only. For all the curves. If let's just say it happened that you took a C3 curve, which is looking somewhat like this. This is your curve C3. And for that you calculated f dot dl, that came out to be non-zero. For two of them it came out to be 0, but for the third one it came out to be non-zero. Then using all these conclusion, you will say that f is not conservative. Is that understandable to you? It is not a conservative. Why you will say so? Because sir, you have done it only for a particular case. For C1, C2 you got the answer to be 0, but sir for C3 you got it to be non-zero. That means it is not conservative. It should be 0 for all of them. If I say that sir, I calculated f dot dl for closed line integral f dot dl, again and again I am saying closed line integral, okay, closed line integral, not the single line, not the open line integral. Open line integral, you have understood that no matter whichever the path you follow, always it will give you the same result. Closed line integral will always come out to be 0, whether it is C1 or C2 or C3, or no matter whichever the closed path you are taking, always if it is coming out to be 0, then you would notice that yes, this is a conservative vector field. This will turn out to be, or this will be called as a conservative vector field. This will be your conservative vector field. F is conservative. Okay, well and good. So I hope you have understood the meaning of conservative vector field here. Now, for a conservative vector field, what you have seen, that sir, closed line integral f dot dl over a curve C will come out to be 0. Now you know that, let's just say field F is continuous everywhere. Field F is continuous at all the points enclosed by the curve C. So I can apply the Stokes theorem. So let's just say I apply the Stokes theorem. I apply the Stokes theorem. So from the Stokes theorem, what did you understand? That sir, del cross F dot ds should be equivalent to 0. From the Stokes theorem, what you have understood from here is that sir, if a field is conservative, no, if the field is conservative, for a conservative field, del cross F dot ds should be 0. Del cross F dot ds should be 0. From here, can you conclude that del cross F also has to be 0? Can you conclude that? Let's just say it is written del cross F dot ds equals to 0. From here, can I conclude that del cross F is 0? Is it a necessary condition? I am asking you, is it a necessary condition? Del cross F dot ds, double integral del cross F dot ds equals to 0 is given. From here, I concluded that del cross F equals to 0. What someone will give as a counter argument? What could be a counter argument? Counter argument. Someone would give a counter argument. This could be your doubt that sir, I know one thing, that del cross F dot ds should be equals to 0. What if my del cross F, there was a vector field F, there was some vector field F, this was given to me. I calculated del cross F, sir, it came out to be 3k cap. Okay. And then sir, I calculated ds vector. So ds vector was nothing but dy dz I cap. This was my ds vector. Now sir, if I calculate del cross F dot ds, del cross F dot ds, what do I see, sir, over the surface as? I don't know what is the surface. I don't care about the surface. I know one thing, sir, it will be 3k cap dy dz I cap. K cap dot I cap will be 0 only, sir. So sir, what I have done is that I have put del cross F equals to 3k cap, del cross F equals to 3k cap, and sir, still this del cross F dot ds, for me I am getting it to be 0 only. So sir, it is not necessary. Like what you can say is that if del cross F is 0, then surely it will be equivalent to 0. But sir, if it is non-zero, then also sir, it can come out to be 0. This is only the paper thing you have done. You have only taken a hypothetical condition. Only for one particular case you have find out. No, but what did I tell you? What is the meaning of conservative vector field? The meaning of conservative vector field is that not only for one closed curve, for all the closed curve it should give you 0. So here luckily del cross F came out to be 3k cap. You told that sir, it is non-zero, still I am getting it to be 0 only. Now del cross F will remain same. Let's just say this time I take my surface area. Let's just say your del cross F is, that would be same only because it will depend on the vector field, which will be 3k cap only. This time I took my surface area as dx dy k cap. Now you let me know what will be the value you will be getting here. Will it come out to be 0? Will it come out to be 0? It may be 0, it may be non-zero as well. It may be non-zero as well because k cap are in the same direction. So eventually what you are getting? 3 dx dy. So it is simply representing the area, 3 into area, which is coming out to be non-zero. So del cross F dot ds came out to be non-zero. That means F dot dl will also come out to be non-zero. From here what you can see, closed line integral F dot dl will also come out to be non-zero. This was your curve C1. Then I took another curve C2. For curve C2 it is coming out to be non-zero. Here it came out to be 0. You were happy, sir, it came out to be 0. It could be a conservative vector field. But in this whole scenario, when you saw that for one particular curve it is coming out to be 0, but for the another particular curve F dot dl is not coming out to be 0. So in the whole particular scenario, your F is not conservative. Okay, so only the hypothetical condition you are discussing here. So the point is that if your F is conservative, then always, no matter whichever the question you are solving, always your del cross F will be 0 only. So the one line conclusion is that if F is conservative, if vector field F is conservative, then for sure del cross F for sure will be always 0. There is no one who can stop it. Always. There is no if but nothing. if it is given f is conservative, without any doubt, close your eyes, del cross f equals to 0. Because if f is conservative, then for any closed curve C, f dot dl will also be 0. So people think that, sir, del cross f dot ds should be 0. It is not necessary that del cross f has to be 0, but actually it is necessary. And this is the counter argument they give. I also used to fall in the same category. I also used to think in the same way. Okay. So those who are from EC or electrical, they will be studying EMFT from me, right? Those who are from EC electrical, they will be studying EMFT from me. So there I have taken a topic called vector calculus, because in EMFT we again study vector calculus, but in a bit different way. There we talk too much about spherical coordinate system. We talk too much about cylindrical coordinate system as well. But there as well I have taken this argument. Okay. In that lecture series, what I have said that del cross f is not necessary to be 0. But at that time I was having wrong knowledge. Now I am having the correct knowledge. When I read the book of mathematics, then I go to know that always it is necessary for del cross f has to be 0. This is just one hypothetical condition that you have taken. What if I take my ds in some other direction? Your f dot dl is not coming out to be 0. Right? But if you are saying it is conservative, if vector field f is conservative, then it has to be 0 only, but it is not coming out to be 0. That means your f was not conservative. So all the example that you have taken, this counter example, everything goes wrong. So the bottom line is, this is the conclusion, that if your f is conservative, then your f dot dl for any closed curve C, for any closed curve C, for any closed curve C will always come out to be 0. Along with that, del cross f will also be always 0. That's the first bottom line. This is the first conclusion. Always remember it. Now second question. If del cross f is 0, if given del cross f equals to 0, then vector field f will be conservative for sure. Is that statement true? Will be conservative always. Is that statement true? No. See this example. What was the value of del cross f? So the value of del cross f actually came out to be 0. Here when I calculated del cross f, so it came out to be 0 only. So here your del cross f, in this example, if I write down a conclusion, the del cross f was 0. But when you calculated f dot dl, closed line integral f dot dl, did it come out to be 0? No, it was not 0. So if del cross f is 0, does it guarantee that your vector field f is conservative? From here what you will say? F is not conservative. F is not conservative. F is not conservative. Because closed line integral for a particular curve C is not coming out to be 0. So if your del cross f is 0, your field may or may not be conservative. You don't know. If your del cross f is 0, if your del cross f is 0, then vector field f may or may not be conservative. Why is that so? Because you don't even know whether the Stokes theorem could be applied or not. When you have written down this statement, what you have said, that Stokes theorem is applicable, but every time it is not necessary that your Stokes theorem will be applicable. So if given that del cross f is 0, then vector field f may or may not be conservative. May or may not be conservative. But this is the first statement. Let's just say another statement is given. If given del cross f is 0 and Stokes theorem is applicable, and Stokes theorem is applicable, Stokes theorem is applicable, both of the conditions are mentioned now, that Stokes theorem is also applicable and del cross f is also 0, then your closed line integral f dot dl will be equivalent to what? Open surface del cross f dot ds. Now what this is mentioned? This is mentioned as 0 only. So what is the answer you are getting? 0. That means your closed line integral f dot dl is coming out to be 0 for any curve C. For any curve C. What does that mean? That means field f will be surely conservative. Field f will be surely conservative. So now listen to the statements very carefully, very carefully. First one. For any closed curve C, f dot dl is coming out to be 0. That means my field f will be conservative for sure. Is that statement correct? Absolutely correct. Second statement. If my field f is conservative, then you take any closed curve C in the 3D space f dot dl will always come out to be 0. Is that statement correct? Yes, it is completely correct. Next statement. If field f is conservative, then del cross f will be 0. Curl of f will be 0. Is that statement correct? Yes. If field is conservative, then surely your curl of f will be 0. Statement correct. Next, if field f is, if del cross f is 0, if del cross f is 0, then field will be surely conservative. Is that correct? No. If del cross f is 0 and Stokes theorem is applicable, then the field will be always conservative. Yes. These are the statements. Very high chance is there that this question will be introduced in your examination in near future. That if a vector field f is conservative, then for sure del cross f is 0. If a vector field f is conservative, then closed line integral f dot l will surely be 0. If closed line integral f dot l equals to 0 for every possible closed curve C, then f is conservative. Yes, correct. If del cross f is 0, then field is conservative. No. If del cross f is 0 and f is continuous at all the points in the region enclosed by the closed curve, that means Stokes theorem is applicable, then field is conservative. Yes. Say yes or no. So in the examination, if it is given that field is conservative, or if it is given that for every closed curve C, f dot dl is 0, then what you can conclude? You can conclude that del cross f is 0. What I mean to say is that in the examination, if it is given that field is conservative, or what I am putting, or f dot dl equals to 0 for any curve C, then you can conclude that for sure del cross f will be 0 only. And if del cross f is 0, then do you remember one thing, that f could be written as del phi. Do you remember this thing or not? So can I say that if field f is conservative, then f could be written as del phi. Electric field is conservative field. That's why it could be written as the gradient of potential. Negative gradient of the potential. Right? Although electrical engineering we are not studying as of now, I'm just telling the things. That if vector field f is conservative, or you can say closed line integral over the curve or any curve C in the vector field f dot dl is coming out to be 0, then for sure del cross f will come out to be 0. And if del cross f is 0, then f could be written as gradient of some scalar. I hope you remember. What do you remember? Null identity. Your CG is 0 and del E capitals has one 0 IPL. So divergence of curl of gradient. This is a gradient of some other scalar field. Is that understandable to you or not? Surely in near future this kind of question is coming in your examination, that if vector field f is conservative, then f could be written as del phi. Directly you should be remembering it. Or you at least remember if f is conservative, then del cross f equals to 0 and f could be written as del phi or gradient of phi. Is that clear to you? Very good discussion we have done. Best possible discussion, whatever that we could have done on this topic, that we have already done. Let's see some question, that what kind of question could be asked. The position vector r is mentioned, like this is your vector field, f. Your vector field f is nothing but r vector. You are supposed to calculate r dot dl over this curve C. This is the curve C that has been mentioned. You need to move on this curve C. Is it an open line integral? Yes sir, it is an open line integral. I am supposed to calculate open line integral r dot dl over the curve C. Sir, I already know what is my r, x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap, x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap, and what will be my dl? dl will be dx I cap plus dy j cap plus dz k cap over the curve C. So what you will be getting? X dx, y dy, z dz. Now sir, I don't even know the equation of this curve. What is the equation? What is the equation of this curve? Like basically now what is your task? You will be thinking that sir, all the variables x, y, z, everything sir I will write down as a function of t, and then sir I will be solving it with the limit of t. The t will be going from here to here. But sir, how do I do? The equation is not even mentioned. How do I solve it now? Nothing is mentioned, no? How do I solve it now? So at this mind, when you are stuck, it should be clicking to you that this vector field f might be conservative. Because if it is conservative, then you don't need to follow this path, no? You can follow some other path. If it is, let's just say if it comes out to be conservative, then you can directly follow this path. You can follow a straight line. Why you need to follow this curvature? Simply follow a straight line. Because let's just say this is your C2. If vector field F, which is equals to R, if it is conservative, then you know first statement. What was the first statement? The first statement said only one thing, that sir, you are calculating f dot dl through C1 or you calculate it through C2, both will be, अरे यार एक तो closed line integral, this is not closed line integral. If you calculate through C1 or you calculate through C2, both will give you the same answer. So I don't know the equation of curve C, it is C only. I don't know the equation of curve C, but I surely know the equation of C2. If I know the equation of C2, I will solve it with respect to C2. So first of all, you let me know if your vector field F is conservative or not. What is the value of del cross R? Del cross R is 0 only. Sir, if del cross R is 0, what does you can see from here? What does you can see? That yes, sir, my vector field is conservative. It is conservative. It is conservative. Also, you need to make sure one thing, that that it should be continuous everywhere, and it will be surely continuous. What is R? R is x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. It will not be discontinuous anywhere, so it will be surely continuous. So vector field R is always continuous. That means if del cross R equals to 0, then R is conservative field only. So it is actually a conservative field, and if it is a conservative field, then what you can do, you are supposed to calculate f dot dl, and very easily you can calculate it now. How you will calculate it? You are supposed to calculate f dot dl through the curve C2 now. What is your curve C2? This is your curve C2. This is your curve C2, that you are going from 1, 1, 1 to 2, 2, 2. So x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1, y minus y1 upon y2 minus y1, z minus z1 upon z2 minus z1 equals to t. So what is the value of x? X is coming out to be t plus 1, y is coming out to be t plus 1, and z is coming out to be t plus 1. What is the value of dx, dy, dt? All are coming out to be same only. dt, dt, and dt. From where to where x is going? X is going from 1 to 2. Like x is going from 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So if the value of x is from 1 to 2. If the value of x is 1, then value of t will be 0. And the value of x is 2, then value of t will be 1. So t is going from 0 to 1. T is going from 0 to 1. Okay. So what you need to do is that t going from 0 to 1, and what I need to put? X dx. What is the value of x? X is t plus 1 dot dx. Dx is dt plus y dy. What is the value of y? Y is t plus 1 dot dt. And what is the value of z? dz, t plus 1 dot dt. So 3 you take outside, t going from 0 to 1, t plus 1 dot dt. What you are getting? T square by 2, t square by 2 plus t. T going from 0 to 1. 3 into 1 by 2 plus 1, which will be 3 by 2. So answer is 9 by 2, which will be 4.5. So over this field, if you move from A to B, then A dot dl will come out to be, from A to B if you move, then R dot dl will come out to be 4.5. So answer is 4.5 for 9 by 2. Yeah, that's the answer. Is that understandable to you? So in the examination, if you don't know any information about the curve C, then always you should check whether sir del cross R is, if del cross F is coming out to be 0 or not. If it is coming out to be 0, that means that there is very high chances that my field will be conservative. And if the field is conservative, then sir, I am really happy now. Because if the field is conservative, then I can take any path. I don't need to think of the curve C only, I can think of curve C2 as well. And if I think of curve C2, I can easily calculate this particular value that I need to work on this curve. I can write down the equation. From there I can get the values of x, y, z, dx, dt, everything I can calculate and get the answer. This is a GATE PYQ only. Try solving on your own. Okay. Sir, here you need to move from where to where you are going. You are going from P1 to P2. From P1 to P2 you are going. From P1 to P2 you are going. P1 to P2 you are going. Do you know anything about this curve C? Do you know anything about this curve C? No. That means, sir, I will be stuck. If you are stuck, then what you need to go? This was your curve. As I said, this is your curve. Question mark curve. Okay. So question mark curve was, this is something I was supposed to calculate. So first of all, can you write down y I cap x j cap dx I cap dy j cap. This is your vector field A, right? A dot dl. So your vector field was I cap plus x j cap. This was your vector field, right? Say yes or no. Now what do I calculate? I calculate del cross A. So when I calculate del cross A, I will get to know one thing, that it is actually coming out to be 0 only. Del cross, when I calculate del cross A, you can do it on your own. It will come out to be 0 only. So if del cross A is coming out to be 0, what does that mean? And secondly, del cross A is coming out to be 0 and vector field A will always be continuous as well. Y I cap plus x j cap, it will be always continuous as well. It will never be discontinuous. So from here I can conclude that A is conservative. And if A is conservative, then instead of going through this path, can I go through this path from P1 to P2? Can I go through this path? Absolutely, sir. You can go through this path as well. Okay. So what did you understand here? That your question mark A dot dl, I don't know about this path, is coming out to be equals to for the curve C A dot dl, which is equals to for the curve C y dx x dy. X dy. Now you solve this one for the curve C. For the curve C. What you will do? Will you write down the equation of the line? Like what people will do is that x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1, y minus y1 upon y2 minus y1, and sir, I will equate it to a constant value t. Right? So from there, I will get the value of x as t into x2 minus x1 plus x1. Let's try doing it. Okay. Other way would also be there, but let's solve it in the lengthy way first. Lengthy way would be also there and small way would also be there. Intuitive way will also be there. Both I will tell you. So I am supposed to calculate for the curve C, I am supposed to calculate y dx plus x dy. Y dx plus x dy. Now what is my curve C? My curve C is just a straight line which is going from x1 comma y1 to x1 comma y1 to x2 comma y2. Say yes or no. X1 comma y1 to x2 comma y2 from P1 to P2. So what will be the equation? X minus x1 upon x2 minus x1, y minus y1 upon y2 minus y1, and I will equate it to a constant value t. So from here the value of x is coming out to be t into x2 minus x1 plus x1, and value of y is coming out to be t into y2 minus y1 plus y1, right? So x is going from x1 to x2. X is going from x1 to x2. So if the value of x1 is, if the value of x is x1, then what is the value of t? If the value of x is x1, then the value of t is nothing but 0. And if the value of x is x2, then the value of t is 1. Right? So t is going from 0 to 1. I hope you would have understood. If the value of x is x1, then the value of t is 0. And if the value of x is x2, then the value of t is 1. Right? So t is going from 0 to 1. Now what is the value of dx? From here, can you determine what is the value of dx? The value of dx is nothing but x2 minus x1 dt. And what is the value of dy? The value of dy is y2 minus y1 dt. So this I need to put here. T going from 0 to 1. What is the value of y? Y is t into y2 minus y1 plus y1. This is going to be lengthy, right? And what is the value of dx? The value of dx is coming out to be x2 minus x1 dot dt. This is what you are getting from here, right? Plus t going from 0 to 1. Value of x is nothing but t into x2 minus x1 plus x1. And here what you are getting? y2 minus y1. What is the value of dy? y2 minus y1 dt. y2 minus y1 dt. So you solve only this integral. Isn't it symmetric only? In place of x, you just need to put y. That's it. You solve only this integral. and then in place of x you simply need to put y and you will get your answer. You see, in place of x there is y, in place of y there is x, in place of y there is x. Are you able to understand this point? I will solve only this integral and my job would be done. Say yes or no. Okay, so first of all let me make a clear gap that this is what we are doing, this is separate, and now I am solving this integral. So first integral, if I am solving x2 minus x1 multiply with y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 multiply with y2 minus y1, t dot dt, that will come out to be t square by 2 multiply with t square by 2 from 0 to 1, it will be divided by 2 plus y into y1 into x2 minus x1, y1 into x2 minus x1 plus, if you solve this one, it will come out to be x2 minus x1 y2 minus y1 divided by 2 plus x1 into y2 minus y1. This is what you will be getting, right? This is the result of the integral that you are getting. So when you solve it, what you are getting? Result of integral x2 y2 divided by 2, x2 y2 divided by 2 plus x2 y2 divided by 2 plus x1 y1 divided by 2. In the examination you will not solve in this manner, but I am just telling the method which we have solved till this point. Minus x2 y2 minus x2 y1 minus x2 y1 minus x2 y1 divided by 2, and then here you are getting minus x1 y2 divided by 2, minus x1 y2 minus x1 y2 divided by 2 plus y1 x2, or in place of writing y1 x2 you write down x2 y1 minus x1 y1 minus x1 y1 plus x2 y2 divided by 2 plus x2 y2 divided by 2 plus x1 y1 divided by 2 minus y2 x1 or x1 y2 divided by 2. Here what you will get? x2 y1 minus x2 y1 minus x2 y1 divided by 2 minus, here you are getting x2 y2 y1 x1 y2 minus x1 y2 divided by 2. Say yes or no. Plus x1 y2 minus x1 y1, x1 y2 minus x1 y1. Now let's see what is being cancelled out, what is being added. x1 y2 minus x1 y1, x1 y1. So is something being cancelled out or not? x2 y2 is actually coming out to be x2 y2. Then x1 y1 plus x1 y1, x1 y1, x2 y1 minus x2 y1, x1 y2 minus x1 y2, x2 y1 plus x1 y2 minus 2 x1 y1. So x1 y1 2 x1 y1, so x2 y2 minus x1 y1, x2 y1 x1 y2. There you go. This is the answer. This is the answer that we are getting after a lot of hard work. Okay, after a lot of hard work, x2 y2 minus x1 y1. This is the answer that we have got. Complex calculation in the examination solving, it is very difficult. So sir, in the examination what they were expecting? They were expecting us to do this analysis. Like patiently I wrote down the equation and everything, it was mathematics only. This was also mathematics only. But here so much of space and all these things. So another method would have been there. There would be surely another method. What is that method? Another method. So just let me know what is the answer of this thing. dxy by dt. What is the answer of this? Sir, first as it is differentiation of y plus second as it is differentiation of x. X as it is differentiation of y plus y as it is differentiation of x. Now can I cancel out? Can I write it down as dxy by dt is coming out to be x dy plus y dx divided by dt, right? I just took the LCM, dt and dt is getting cancelled out. So what you are getting from here, sir, dxy could be written as x as it is dy plus y as it is dx. This is your d of xy. In this question, what you are supposed to calculate? In this question, what you were supposed to calculate? If you notice carefully, you are supposed to calculate y dx plus x dy over the curve C. Like we have concluded over the curve C, I am supposed to calculate dxy plus y dx. What it will give me? Over the curve C, it will give me d of xy. So over the curve, what is the curve? Curve is saying that you go from x1 comma y1 to x2 comma y2. This is your curve dxy. Now you know that integral and d will get cancel out each other. They will cancel out each other, and then simply you need to put the limit of x and y. Simply you need to put the limit of x and y. So put the limit of x and y. X2 in place of x and y you need to put x2 y2 minus, then in place of x and y you need to put x1 y1. There you go. This is the answer. This is how you were supposed to solve. This is how they were expecting you to solve. Since it is a conservative vector field, then directly you convert in this manner, and this is how you solve it. x2 y2 minus x1 y1. This was the answer that was expected. Is that clear to you? Okay. In the examination, let's just say if this did not click to me, that x dy plus y dx, then how would I solve it? I would have taken some random values of x1 y1. Okay. And then I would have checked the option. What I mean to say is that when I see this particular scenario, that's I need to write down the equation. All these things will become very complex, right? Dx is coming out to be x2 minus x1. Then what I would have done is that I would have taken random values. This I would have taken 0, 0, 1, 1 or 1, 1, 2, 3. So here all these numerical values you will be getting, no? So this question would become a numerical problem. So in place of these x1, y1, whatever the value I have taken, I would have framed 4 new option. Based on that, whichever the option we are getting, that would be correct. Are you able to understand this point? In the examination, if this is not clicking to me, that dxy could be written as x dy plus y dx. If it is not clicking to me, I would not prefer solving in this manner. I would have taken some random values of x1, x2, y1, y2, and I would have got the correct answer. Oh, first of all, I would get to know that, sir, nothing is given about the curve. That means it has to be there is 99% chances that it will be conservative vector field only. If it is conservative vector field, then I can simply follow a straight path. And I can directly see y dx x dy, that means it will come out to be xy only. So xy is going from x1 y1 to x2 y2. So answer would be x2 y2 minus x1 y1. Without picking up the pen, this is how the question could be solved. Conservative vector field dxy, you need to go from x1 y1 to x2 y2. Answer would be x2 y2 minus x1 y1, option A. That's why it is of 1 mark only. Otherwise, hold this calculation and everything for 1 mark, difficult, no? Right? But this is how it was supposed to be solved. Let's go to the next question. Very interesting question. Try doing it on your own. You need to find out the closed surface integration x dy dz, and this is your closed surface. What is this? This is a sphere. So for a sphere, first of all, you write down what this would have been. This would have been some a dot ds, no? This would have been some a dot ds, right? This a dot ds over the closed surface have given me x dy dz. This is a GATE PYQ only, and I will tell you that how the solution is given in a lot of GATE textbook. What is wrong in that solution? From that solution, what we can conclude? A good discussion we are going to do. But first, solve it on your own. How would you solve it if this thing is coming? Sir, x dy dz, that means, sir, it would have been some a dot ds. Sir, if it would have been some a dot ds, sir, for the sphere, can I write down some ds vector? Yes, sir, the ds vector would be ds and ds cap. First of all, can you let me know what will be the ds cap? Here it should be given that orientation is in positive z. Orientation in positive z. Orientation in positive z. So, sir, can I write down the ds vector? Yes, sir, it will be for a sphere, sir, I remember it, x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by the radius. Radius is 2 divided by 2. So, this will be the ds cap. What about, sir, ds? Sir, I need to write down ds in what term? I need to write it down in dy dz term. So, what I would do, I need to write down in dy dz term. So, what I would do is that I would make x as under root 4 minus y square minus z square. Someone would say that, sir, plus minus should come here because this time it is a sphere. Yeah, I know plus minus should come, but will it make any impact? What will be my ds? So ds would be, you need to write down in yz term. You have made them free variable, x is dependent. So what you would do? 1 plus partial differentiation of x with respect to z whole square, partial differentiation of x with respect to y whole square. So what answer you will be getting? Can you do the partial differentiation of x with respect to z? What answer you will get? 1 by 2 under root 2z you will be getting. So it will come out to be partial differentiation of x with respect to z. So it will come out to be z upon under root 4 minus y square minus z square. So 1 plus z square upon 4 minus y square minus z square plus partial differentiation with respect to y square upon 4 minus y square minus z square dy dz. Right? So what your ds you are getting? Sir, from here ds I can sense this is coming out to be 2 upon under root 4 minus y square minus z square. Now what is the value of 4 minus y square minus z square? So that is nothing but x only. So it is coming out to be 2 by x dy dz. 2 by x dy dz. So your complete ds vector is coming out to be, sir, 2 by x, then this will be multiplied, so 2 and 2 will get cancelled out. So it is coming out to be x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by x dy dz. This is your ds vector. So this ds vector we have find out. Let's go on the next page. That, sir, a dot, it would have been a dot ds vector. The ds vector is coming out to be x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap, x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by x dy dz. And that would be equivalent to x dy dz. So now this particular thing should be equals to x. Say yes or no? Do you agree with this point or not? This particular thing should be equals to x. Have I calculated that ds vector in a good manner? Yes, sir. ds cap I already calculated, x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by the radius. Then, sir, xz I was supposed to calculate, that I already know, sir, that I have calculated. Similarly xy also you will get. Then I did the square and the answer I am getting, that is coming out to be 2 by x dy dz. Okay, so that I put here 2 by x dy dz, and this answer will also come. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled out. So x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by x dy dz. So that I have put here dy dz. This is what I have put here, dy dz. Multiply with the vector a. So what do you think? What should be the vector a? What could be the vector a? Multiple answers are possible, no? Multiple answers are possible. I just need to make this form x dy dz. I need to make a vector a. What vector a I will make? I will make the vector a as x I cap only. Say yes or no? Or I could have made vector a as x by y j cap. No, x square by y j cap. Or I could have made vector a as x square by y j cap. Say yes or no? If I, in place of a, if I put x square by y, then what will happen? It will be multiplied with x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by x. So this will come out to be 0. This will come out to be 0. So x square y dot product with y by x. So it will come out to be x dy dz only. So let's take this example only. If I have taken a as x I cap, if I take a as x I cap, then what will happen? A as x I cap. So x I cap will be dot product with divided by x plus y by x j cap plus z by x k cap dy dz. What you will be getting? I cap dot j cap will be 0, I cap dot k cap will be 0, I cap dot I cap will be 1. So from here x dy dz you are getting. So yes, this is the vector a you can take. So now you are supposed to calculate, this was your scenario, that you were supposed to calculate a dot ds over a closed surface S, where your a is x I cap. This is your a. So sir, what will be the answer? Sir, answer would have been, sir, since it is a closed surface integral, I know that, sir, answer would be del dot a dv. Now if I calculate del dot A, if you calculate the gradient, if you calculate the divergence of this, what will be the answer? 1. So del dot A is coming out to be 1. 1 dot dV would have been the answer, sir, which is equivalent to the volume only. What this is representing? This is representing the volume. So sir, answer is 4 by 3 pi r cube, where radius is 2 cube. So answer will be 32 pi by 3. This is the answer. So this is the correct way of solving the problem. This is the correct way of solving the problem. That you think of what it would have been A dot ds, then you think of ds. ds I can write down in a very good way. This is the ds I have written. That means, sir, if I have written the ds, then I can replace it somewhat like this. What would have been vector A? It would have been xi cap. So you were supposed to calculate A dot ds, where vector A was xi cap. So from here you got the answer 32 pi by 3. This is the correct answer. This is the correct way of solving the problem. How PYQ books are solving this question? Solution in PYQ book. Solution in PYQ book, or everywhere in any other lecture series also you can see. So everywhere this solution is given. What you are supposed to calculate? X dy dz, right? So what they have done? This they wrote down as xi cap. From here we will make a conclusion, okay? Have some patience. I'm not mocking here anyone. We will make some conclusion. Xi cap and then dy dz I cap. Look how I wrote down this surface area. You know that, sir, if x equals to constant, surface is there, no? If x equals to constant, surface is there. X equals to constant means, sir, value of x is constant, rest everything is variable. This is your x. It is constant, rest everything is variable, then it will be a plane. So for this plane, what will be the surface area? So that will be dy dz, and what will be the direction? Direction will be either plus I cap or minus I cap. You need to take plus I direction only, so I am taking plus I cap direction. I hope you would have understood. For x equals to constant surface, what will be the surface area? So that would be nothing but dy dz I cap plus minus I cap. For y equals to constant surface, what will be the surface area? So that would be nothing but dx dz j cap. And for z equals to constant surface, what is the surface area? This we have written, no? Z equals to constant. This was your z axis, z equals to constant, this was the surface area. So what was the surface area? You are moving in xy direction, and the direction will be plus a cap minus a k cap. So what they have done is that they have written this as your ds vector. So what they are saying, that this is my vector A, this is my vector A, and this is my ds vector. So I can replace this as del dot A dv. And what is your del dot A? Del dot A will come, A is xi cap only, no? They have taken where A is xi cap and ds is dy dz I cap. Okay. So from del dot A dot dv I have written, what is del dot A you will be getting? Del dot A will be 1. So what this would represent? This would represent the volume only. What answer you will be getting? 32 pi by 3. Both answers are correct. Both answer I am getting correct. But here, so many doubts you will be having. Why so many doubts? What is your surface? It is a sphere. It is a sphere, which is x square plus y square plus z square equals to 4. You are taking the surface area for, a x equals to constant surface. This surface and this surface are the same. You are taking the surface area for x equals to constant surface. But actually your sphere is x square plus y square plus z square equals to 4. Sir, luckily you got the correct answer here. Method was absolutely baseless. This is correct actually. Method is absolutely baseless. This is not making any sense. Does it make any sense to you? If you are studying vector calculus in a good manner, then does it make any sense for you? If you are studying in a rough way, if you are studying from good educators, then it would make sense to you. But if you are studying in a good way, if you are struggling in vector calculus, the actual struggle if you see, if your actual concept if you see, then is it making any sense for you? Is this solution making any sense for you? xi cap dot dy dz I cap. I don't know how you have taken this as ds vector, but sir, for a sphere, ds vector is something else. Sir, for a sphere, my ds vector came out to be something else. That came out to be somewhat like this, which was xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap divided by x dy dz. Sir, this was the surface vector. What you are doing? Divided by x dy dz. But answer is same. Okay. Now, at least 4 to 5 more questions have been asked on the same topic. What I am saying, on the same topic, on this same topic, at least 4 to 5 questions have been asked for the sphere only, and ditto Every question have been solved in this way and every answer is also correct. Why it is correct? Because do you remember one thing that in 3D space, in Cartesian coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, what was your small length dl? What was your small length dl? Sir, my small length dl was nothing but dx I cap. I move in the direction of x, I move in the direction of y, I move in the direction of z. And sir, what was the volume? Dx dy dz. Now you turn back your pages, okay? You turn back your pages, you go to the lecture of basics. Did we write down ds vector there? Did we write down ds vector? No, we wrote down the ds vector for different surfaces. Z equals to constant, then x equals to constant, y equals to constant. For different surfaces, we wrote down the ds vector. But collectively, for Cartesian coordinate system, collectively we did not write down the ds vector. Do you remember that? Turn your pages, go back to the notes. You will not find me writing down ds vector collectively. For different surfaces, for z equals to constant, for x equals to constant, for y equals to constant, for x square plus y square equals to 1, we have written different surfaces. For different surfaces, we have written, but as a whole, like this is the small length dl in Cartesian coordinate system. This is the volume in the Cartesian coordinate system. This is the surface area in the Cartesian coordinate system. I did not write down anything. But the point is, if there is a closed surface, okay, for a closed surface, very, very important thing, for a closed surface, the small surface area, in Cartesian coordinate system, could be written in this way. The surface area could be written in this way. That would be in the I cap direction. In the I cap direction, if I need to write down, that means x equals to constant has to be my surface. So here, what will be my surface area? X equals to constant. Just think about it. This is your x axis, this is your y axis, this is your z axis. X equals to constant. That means this will be the surface area you will be getting. You are moving in the yz direction, and direction will be plus I cap minus I cap. So dy dz direction could be plus minus I cap. If I need to write down in the j cap direction, then what it would be? Dx dz direction could be plus minus j cap. And if I need to write down in z equals to constant, then it would be dx dy plus minus k cap. So this you can write down only for closed surface, in the Cartesian coordinate system. No matter whichever the kind of closed surface is there, this is how you can write down your ds vector in the Cartesian coordinate system. How you can write it down? So in brief, you can hear it. Okay, I'm not going to give you the full theory behind it, because if I give you the full theory, then it will go very deeper into calculus. On brief, you can understand that, sir, this was your closed surface. Okay, this was the closed surface. This was your sphere. I am talking about the sphere. You can take cylinder as well. You can take anything. Like this could also be a closed surface, right? Now, what you do is that you take the projection of every small open surface. Like this closed surface has been made from open surfaces, no? Like this cylinder was made from a curved surface, then downward, and then the upper one. This is how it was made. So what you do is that you take the projection of every open surface on xy plane, on yz plane, and on zx plane. So the projection on zx plane, if you take, then your surface area is dx dz plus minus j cap. If the projection you take on zy plane, then your surface area is dy dz plus minus I cap. And if the projection you take on yx plane, then the surface area is dx dy plus minus k cap. Is that understandable to you? And this is how collectively you can write them down. Pick any textbook in your history, pick any video lectures, pick the lectures of Goat Educator, Goat Educator. These things you are not going to find out anywhere. Okay, immense effort is there. You can like the session. Otherwise, you will see this solution. That's it. You will be happy. But this solution is not making any sense. These things are not making any sense. What is making sense? That we are writing down, right? I guess it is raining outside. So for a closed surface, the surface area could be written in this way. So when I saw this question, when I see this particular question in the examination hall, what I will see, sir, it is a closed surface. Then what I can say, I will see this particular question in the examination hall. What I am doing is that that this particular question I will copy, I will see it in the examination hall. So how will I solve it there? What I will see that, sir, it is a closed surface, no sir, since it is a closed surface, so sir, for this closed surface I can write down my ds vector in this way. If I need to write down in I cap direction, then it would be dy dz plus orientation they have taken in the plus direction only, no, so dy dz I cap. If I need to write down in j cap, then dx dz j cap, and if I need to write down in k cap, then dx dy k cap. This is my ds vector. So what I can do, a dot ds vector here, a dot ds vector, which will be dy dz I cap plus dx dz. Why to write down again and again? Do one thing, a dot ds you do, or you do for closed surface a dot ds. Right? So now what should, which will be equivalent to, which will come out to be equivalent to x dy dz. So you just look for the term of x dy dz. So this is your x dy dz, this is your dy dz. So what has to be a vector? From here, sir, I can directly conclude that a has to be x I cap. So sir, a has to be x I cap. Then I know that, sir, a dot ds I am supposed to calculate. Sir, it will be equivalent to nothing but del dot a dv. Del dot a dv. Okay. What is the value of del dot a? So del dot a will come out to be 1 only. So sir, it is simply coming out to be equivalent to volume v. What is the volume v? 32 pi by 3 is the answer. This is how we are supposed to solve the question in the examination hall. Is that understandable to you? Okay. Although this PYQ has been solved in this way only, which does not make any sense. Actual way was this. This was the actual way. This is how you would have thought it. That a sphere is given. I need to write down the ds vector. How will I write down? That is up to you. That you write down the ds vector. It comes out to be somewhat like this. Then you get the value of vector a. Then you get to know that it is coming out to be simply equals to the volume. This is how PYQ book solution doesn't make any sense. We got to know one thing, that in the Cartesian coordinate system, if you need to write down the surface area for a closed curve, then this is how you can write it down. For a closed curve, again for a closed surface, not for closed curve, for a closed surface, if you need to write down the surface area, then this is how you will write it down. If this is how we can write it down, then we can check that x has to be x I cap, del dot a would be 1, dv, answer is 32 pi by 3. Solve this question as well. Again, someone would say that a single line integral has been shown. Anything can be shown in the examination. You know that they are calculating the surface area, no? They are calculating for the closed surface as enclosing a volume v. This time they did not even mention the surface. What will be your answer? This is what they are asking. So it is actually double integral only. They can mention single integral in the examination, but you need to understand it will be double integral only. So what do you think for a closed surface as what will be the surface area? What will be the small surface? So that would be nothing but dy dz I cap plus dx dz j cap plus dx dy k cap. Right? So a dot ds we were supposed to calculate. So from here I can see that, sir, directly I can see my a would have been x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap dot product with dy dz I cap plus dx dz j cap plus dx dy k cap. This would have been my vector A. So what is your del dot A? Del dot A is nothing but 3. So what you are getting? Del dot A dv. 3 dv. 3 you take outside. What this is representing? This is simply representing the volume. So what is the answer you are getting? 3v. This is the answer that you are getting. That's it. Is that understandable to you? So this is how you are supposed to solve these kind of problems. Simply you take the surface area, which is dy dz I cap, dx dz j cap. Based on that you find out the vector A, del dot A dot dv, you apply, get the answer. Solve this question as well. Try solving this question as well. Can you write down the vector A here? Can you write down the vector A? Directly I can write down, sir, xy I cap plus yz j cap plus zx k cap dot dy dz I cap plus dz dx j cap plus dx dy k cap. Right? Understandable? This is your vector A. What you are supposed to calculate? Del dot A. That means partial differentiation of this with respect to x. Partial differentiation of this with respect to x. What you will be getting? Y. Plus partial differentiation of this with respect to y. What you will be getting? Z. And partial differentiation of this with respect to z. What you will be getting? X. So del dot A is coming out to be x. So it will be equivalent to del dot A dv. So you are getting over the volume V, you need to calculate x plus y plus z dx dy dz. What is your closed surface? It is a cube. It is simply a cube. So what we are supposed to calculate? This is what we are supposed to calculate. X plus y plus z dx dy dz. And it is very simple. What you need to do? X dy x dx dy dz plus over the volume V y dx dy dz and over the volume V z dx dy dz. You know one thing, the limit of x is going from 0 to 1, the limit of y is going from 0 to 1 and limit of z will also go from 0 to 1 only, because it is a cube. No, it is a cube. X going from 0 to 1, y going from 0 to 1, z going from 0 to 1, and the same limits here as well. So if you solve it, will you be getting the same answer? Absolutely. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Here when I solve it, x square by 2, limit going from 0 to 1. What will be the answer? 1 by 2. Then limit of dy going from 0 to 1, answer will be 1. Limit of dz going from 0 to 1, answer will be 1. So 1 into 1 into 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. What is the answer? 3 by 2 will be the answer. That's it. This is the answer. Sir, orientation in the plus direction you have taken, it is not mentioned, should have been mentioned. Okay. Here it should have been mentioned that orientation we are taking in the plus z direction. So plus k cap we are taking. Minus also we can take, no? So plus k cap we are taking. This should have been mentioned here. So this is what we were getting, and now we calculated x dx dy dz over a volume V will come out to be half, half, half. So answer is 3 by 2 is the correct answer. Understandable? Solve this question. The ditto same question is there. Ditto same question. xy, yz, zx. xy, yz, zx. xy, yz, zx. Similar scenario. Everything is same. Everything is same as the previous problem. Everything remains same as the previous problem. This time the surface is sphere. This time the surface is sphere. This time the surface is sphere. So everything remains the same. Again the same scenario. A dot ds del dot a dv. What is vector A? Vector A I can directly see, sir, it will come out to be xy I cap plus yz j cap plus zx k cap. What will be del dot A? So del dot A will come out to be x plus y plus z. Right? Triple integral. Triple integral x plus y plus z dx dy dz. But this time it is a sphere. So do you know how to take the limits? I hope you remember how to take the limits. So you can break it down into 3 parts. You will calculate for only one. For the other 2, the answer would be same. So what I am going to calculate? First of all, I am going to calculate x dx dy dz. So for a sphere, you need to solve it. For a sphere, you need to solve it. What is the sphere? Sphere, for a sphere, you need to solve it, which is x square plus y square plus z square equals to 1. So over the volume V, you let me know what will be the value of dv, which is dx dy dz. If I go in the Cartesian coordinate system, so that will come out to be r square sine theta dr d theta d phi. Do you remember it? Do you remember it or not? With r going from 0 to 1, in the volume r going from 0 to 1, theta going from 0 to pi and phi going from 0 to 2 pi. I hope you remember the spherical coordinate system. This was the volume of the spherical coordinate system. What was the coordinate x? Sir, coordinate x was nothing but What was the coordinate x? The coordinate x was r. I hope you remember that spherical coordinate system, right? This was your r. This was your r. You take the projection. You take the projection. This was your phi. This was your phi. This was your theta, and this was your r. So this was coordinate z. This was coordinate x, and this was coordinate y. So what will be the value of x? X will be r sin theta cos phi. R sin theta cos phi. So x was r sin theta cos phi. Isn't it? The answer will come out to be 0. I already know, but still solving it. Why? I already know answer will come out to be 0. It will come out to be 0 only. But yeah, let's solve it. Later on I will tell you why I know that it will come out to be 0. So what is the value of x? X is r sin theta cos phi. And what is your dx dy dz? How the volume is defined? Sir, in the direction of r, how much do you move? Dr. In the direction of theta, how much do you move? R d theta. In the direction of phi, how much do you move? R sin theta d phi. So r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. R square sin theta dr d theta d phi. This is how we write down the volume. So r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. Now I don't want to do anything. I don't want to calculate any limit. This will become r cube. Sin theta will become sin square theta. I just know one thing, sir. This will become cos phi. And you are supposed to calculate dr d theta d phi. You calculate everything. I don't know what limit you calculate, but I know one thing. The sir cos phi d phi. I calculate with the limit of phi. These will be the limit. No, phi will be going from 0 to 2 pi. Theta will be going from 0 to pi. Phi will be going from 0 to, or first let's start from r. R will be going from 0 to 1. Theta will be going from 0 to pi. And phi will be going from 0 to 2 pi. So rest of the limits, all limits are constant. So any limit we can solve first. So what I saw was, if I solve the limit of phi going from 0 to 2 pi, cos phi d phi, what this answer will come out to be? That will come out to be 0 only. Say yes or no. Isn't it 0? Right? So this will come out to be 0 only. So x dx dy dz, this will come out to be 0. Y dx dy dz will also come out to be 0. Z dx dy dz will also come out to be 0, or something else that you think on your own. X dx dy dz is coming out to be 0. Rest of the scenarios will also come out to be 0 or not. Think on your own without using the pen. If you want to use the pen, first use the pen and then think intuitively. Okay, it's up to you, and let me know what will be the answer. Let me take a break, but you think. I'm telling you, this I already knew without even doing all these calculations. No, directly here I could have put that it will come out to be 0 only. How? Do you remember something? F of x comma y dx dy, f of minus x minus y symmetric about origin. Do you remember anything? Think about it and then let me know. Okay, let me take a break and then I will come back. Yeah, welcome back. So we were solving this question. Everything was going fine. This answer will come out to be 0 only, but one error we did. It was a hemisphere. No, z greater than 0 is mentioned. It is actually a hemisphere. Okay. Since it is hemisphere, for z greater than 0, how the structure would look like? This is how the structure would look like. That only in the upper part of z it would be available, right? Only in the upper part of z it would be available. So one error I did, that I took theta from 0 to pi, but theta will be from 0 to pi by 2, no? Because only in the upper half it is available. Theta will go from 0 to pi by 2. Pi by 2 to pi, that will be there in the negative half of z, which is not even available, right? Phi will be from 0 to 2 pi only, r will be from 0 to 1 only. Although the answer will not change, answer will still remain the same. Now how I can directly say that x dy, x dx dy dz will come out to be 0 only. How I can directly say so? So let me make the structure. Okay, let me make the diagram. This is your x-axis, x cross y, z. Okay, so let me make the diagram. How the diagram would look like? This is how the diagram would look like. This is how the diagram would look like. The diagram is x square plus y square plus z square equals to 1. Say yes or no. Now, is it symmetric about x-axis? Is it symmetric about x-axis? Symmetric about x-axis. Symmetric about x-axis. Absolutely, sir. It is symmetric. This is your x-axis, no? So it is symmetric about x-axis. Absolutely. What you are calculating? You are calculating this particular scenario: f of x comma y comma z dx dy dz, where this value is f of x comma y comma z is nothing but x only. So if there is some point x available, then for sure there is minus x will also be available. It is symmetric about x-axis. It is symmetric about x-axis. So if x is available, then minus x is also available. Are you able to understand this point? I should say it is symmetric. Actually, when I am saying symmetric about x-axis, so what is the meaning of symmetric about x-axis? The meaning of symmetric about x-axis is this is your x-axis, no? What is your x-axis? This is your x-axis. This is your x-axis. So symmetric about x-axis means this particular part is symmetric about this part. Basically, let's just say this is sphere, okay, and this particular scenario is z-axis. This particular scenario is z-axis. So if I say sphere is symmetric about z-axis, that means this point and this point both are symmetric. This is your z-axis. I am saying this is your z-axis. So this point and this point is symmetric. So if I say it is symmetric about x-axis, then I should have said that if there is minus y available, then plus y is also available, no? Right? Are you able to understand what I am saying? Right? And similarly, it is symmetric about z-axis as well. It is symmetric about, sorry, not about z-axis, it is symmetric about y-axis as well. So if it is symmetric about y-axis, that means if there is plus x available, then there is minus x is also available. Say yes or no. Right? So for 2D coordinate system, we have seen a particular thing. No, what we have seen for 2D coordinate system, like if in 2D coordinate system, what we used to do, let's just say I need to calculate this over a region R, f of x comma y dx dy. This is what I need to calculate. Now, if your region R is symmetric about x-axis, if it is symmetric about x-axis, symmetric about x-axis. So how the circuit, how the structure would look like if it is symmetric about x-axis? Then this is how it would look like. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Let's just say it is symmetric about x-axis. This is how it will look like. Okay. So if there is plus y present, this is your plus y, then there is minus y is also present. So what you need to do is that you take this function, in place of y you put minus y. In place of y you put minus y. And if you get the minus sign outside, if you get this function, let's just say this was your x square y, fxy was x square y dx dy. This is what you are supposed to calculate over this region R, over this region R. So what you do, in place of y you put minus y, or let's just say it is y to the power 3. In place of y you put minus y. What you are getting? X square y cube, which is equals to minus of f of x comma y, if this was your f of x comma y. So if this is the scenario, no, then for sure your R f of x comma y dx dy will come out to be 0 only. Similarly, if your region R is symmetric about y-axis, symmetric about y-axis means how it will look like? Symmetric about y-axis means this is how it will look like. This is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. Let's just say it is somewhat like this, symmetric about y-axis. So if there is minus x present, then for sure there will be plus x will also be present. If there is minus x is present, then for sure there will be plus x will also be present. So you do one thing, in place of x you put a minus x, and if it is coming out to be minus of x comma y, then for sure over the region R, f of x comma y dx dy will come out to be 0 only. Okay. And similarly, if it is symmetric about origin, if your region R is symmetric about origin, let's remove this. If your region R is symmetric about origin, symmetric about origin. What is the meaning of symmetric about origin? The meaning of symmetric about origin is that it is symmetric about both x and y axis. Symmetric about both x and y axis. X and y axis. So how it will look like? Symmetric about both x and y axis, then this is how it will look like. Let's just say it is somewhat like this. Symmetric about both x and y axis. So here you can see that if x, y is present, then minus x and minus y will also be present. If x, y is present, then minus x and minus y will also be present. So here you do one thing, that in place of x you put minus x and minus y. If it is coming out to be minus of x comma y, then what will happen is that your double integral over the region R f of x comma y dx dy will come out to be 0. So here also there is a similar scenario, that it is symmetric about x axis as well, it is symmetric about y axis as well. Symmetric about x axis as well, symmetric about y axis as well. So I can say that it is symmetric about x axis and y axis. X axis and y axis. Now if you need to calculate f of x comma y comma z dx dy dz, triple integral. So what I will do, in place of x I will put minus x, in place of y I will put minus y, z I will do. And if it is coming out to be minus of x comma y comma z, then z as it is, because it is not symmetric about z axis. So in place of x I will put minus x, in place of y I will put minus y, and if the negative sign is coming out, then I would know that this particular integral will surely come out to be 0 only. This particular integral will surely come out to be 0. This integral will surely come out to be 0. Is that clear to you? So if your f of x comma y comma z, if your x comma y comma z is x, if your x comma y comma z is x, then what you can see? What you can see? In place of x you need to put minus x, in place of y you need to put minus y, and z. What you are getting? Minus x, which is equals to minus of x comma y comma z. That means triple integral x dx dy dz will come out to be 0, and similar thing will happen with triple integral y dx dy dz as well. This will also come out to be 0 because it is symmetric about y axis as well. So similarly, if your g of x comma y comma z is y, if your g of x comma y comma z is y, then if you do g of minus x minus y z, why I am doing minus x minus y minus z? Because they are symmetric about x axis and y axis. And if the negative sign is coming outward, will it come outward? Yes sir, it will be minus y only. So negative sign will surely come outward. So if negative sign is coming outward, then it would also come out to be 0. So second integral I don't even need to calculate. This process I don't even need to do. In the examination I will not even do. Yes, in the examination I will not even do this process. I will directly see it is symmetric about x axis and y axis. Let's just say if it was symmetric about z axis as well. If it was a spare, then what would have been the answer of this particular scenario? You would know that sir, it is symmetric about x axis, y axis and z axis all together. Then what you could have done here is that you could have treated this as a function of f of x comma y comma z, and then in place of x you would have put minus x, in place of y you would have put minus y, in place of z you would have put minus z. Then what you can see is that this will minus sign will simply come outside. So here what you can see is that this value will come out to be minus sign is simply coming outside, minus sign is simply coming outside. So this integral will come out to be 0 only if it was a spare. But actually it is not a spare, it is a hemisphere which is not symmetric about z axis. So it is not symmetric about z axis. Symmetric about x axis, symmetric about x axis, symmetric about z axis, but not symmetric about z axis, because only for z greater than 0 it is available, no? So not symmetric about z axis. But if it was symmetric about z axis, no, you take the example of a sphere, you calculate x dy dz, it will come out to be 0, y dx dy dz come out to be 0, z dx dy dz, it will also come out to be 0. But it is not symmetric about z axis. So for z axis, you have to calculate the value. Now, basically, your y dx dy dz, you follow the same process, you will get to know that it will also come out to be 0. What I am saying is that this was a note. So here we can add a page. What I am saying is that if you calculate y dx dy dz, you follow the same procedure. What procedure you will follow? Sir, y equals to r sin theta sin phi you will put, and dx dy dz you will put as r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. How I am putting all these things? From here, y equals to r sin theta sin phi, r sin theta sin phi. Then you will integrate here r sin theta sin phi, r sin theta sin phi, and then r square, this is sine phi, r square sine theta dr d theta d phi, dr d theta d phi. Directly you can see here sine phi and d phi. What will be the limit? Limit of r will go from 0 to 1, limit of theta will go from 0 to pi by 2, but the limit of phi will go from 0 to 2 pi. So if you take the limit of phi from 0 to 2 pi, this value will be 0 only. So if you do the process completely or directly you write down, this will come out to be 0. But now sir, we will have to calculate this particular thing, z dx dy dz. So now let me know what is the value of z. Z is nothing but r cos theta. Z is nothing but r cos theta. You see from here, z is nothing but r cos theta, right? And dx dy dz is this scenario. So what you will be getting? So r cos theta, so it will become r cube, r cos theta, r square will become r cube, sin theta cos theta, sin theta cos theta, dr d theta d phi, dr d theta d phi, dr d theta d phi, with r going from 0 to 1, theta going from 0 to pi by 2, and phi going from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so you can take the limit of phi, which will be 2 pi only. You can take the limit of r cube, that will become r to the power 4 by 4, that will be 1 by 4, and then you solve, this will become sin 2 theta divided by 2. Okay, so what answer you will be getting? Sin 2 theta will have the integration of cos 2 theta with the negative sign divided by 4. Limit going from 0 to pi by 2, I can write it down as pi by 2 to 0. Okay, so it will come out to be 1 by 2 only. So when you solve this integral, answer is coming out to be pi by 4. You can solve it on your own, answer is coming out to be pi by 4. So this will be your final answer only, because 0 plus pi by 4 will be the answer. So in the examination, if this question is coming, I will be reaching till this point very easily. How I will be reaching till this point? From the previous analysis, I have seen that vector a del dot a I have calculated. This point I will be reaching x plus y plus z dx dy dz. Since I have reached to this point now I know that sir, it is a sphere which is symmetric about x-axis. So x dx dy dz will come out to be 0. It is a sphere which is symmetric about y-axis. Y dx dy dz will also come out to be 0. It is a sphere, it is a hemisphere which is not symmetric about z-axis. I will have to calculate z dx dy dz. I know how z could be written, r cos theta, how dx dy dz could be written. The way I will, in the same manner I will write down. So what I will be getting? Dx dy dz could be written as r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. This will become r cube cos theta sin theta dr d theta d phi. R cube limit I will put, this will become r to the power 4 divided by 4. Limit r going from 0 to 1, answer will be 1 by 4. Limit of phi going from 0 to 2 pi, so it will be simply 2 pi only, because phi is not having any sinusoid or cosinusoid function. Now this is sin theta cos theta. So this will become, I will multiply with 2 divide by 2. Multiply with 2 divide by 2. So this will become sin 2 theta divided by 2. What is the integration of sin 2 theta? That will become cos 2 theta divided by 4, because 2 will also come, cos 2 theta divided by 4. And now you need to put the limit, but there will be a negative sign as well. So I have put the limit from, I need to put the limit from 0 to pi by 2, but here I have put from pi by 2 to 0 because of the negative sign. So answer is coming out to be pi by 4. So the total answer is pi by 4 only. Is that understandable to you? So this would be considered as a very good question in the examination hall actually. Very, very good question it would be considered. Answer is pi by 4. Although till this point, this kind of question is not asked, I am pretty hopeful that this kind of question is surely coming in near future. Okay. Answer will come out to be pi by 4. So this is how you will be solving it, and this good conclusion also we have seen. Okay, symmetric about region is symmetric about x-axis, then this is what you need to do. Symmetric about y-axis, then this is what you need to do. Symmetric about origin, then you would know that in place of x plus y, in place of xy, if you put minus x minus y, then simply if negative sign is coming outward, then it would be 0. This is a gate PYQ only. How would you solve this question? Over the region R, you need to calculate x square plus y square less than equals to 4. You need to calculate this double integral. How will you calculate it? Sir, what is my structure? That is x square plus y square equals to less than equals to 4. That means it is a disk. X square plus y square less than equals to 4. It is a disk. Which color I want to fill? Let's fill this color. This is representing your x square plus y square less than equals to 4. And what do you know? It is symmetric about origin. Symmetric about origin. Symmetric about origin. So what I do is that 1 by 2 pi, let's keep 1 by 2 pi as it is. Let's forget 1 by 2 pi. 1 by 2 pi I will add later on. This is the region R. This is denoted by D here. The region is denoted by D here. So D x plus y plus tan dx dy. What I will do is that I will take this x plus y aside. X plus y dx dy, right, plus double integral tan dx dy. Can anyone let me know what will be the value of this integral without even solving it? No converting into polar coordinate system, x equals to r cos theta, y equals to r sin theta, nothing. Directly, can anyone let me know what will be the value? What is your f of x comma y? F of x comma y is x plus y. Is it symmetric about origin? Yes, sir. In place of x, I need to put minus x. In place of y, I need to put minus y. What I am getting? Sir, minus sign outside you are getting. That is coming out to be equals to minus of f of x comma y. What does that mean? That means, sir, this integral will come out to be nothing but 0 only. So your total integral is over the region D, you need to calculate tan dx dy. Tan you take outside, what it will become? It will simply become the surface area. What is that surface area? Sir, surface area is nothing but pi r square. What is that radius? Radius is 2. What is the radius? Radius is 2. Pi r square. R square. So what is the answer? 40 pi is not the answer. Always remember one thing. They ask you to divide by 1 by 2 pi as well. So answer would be 40 pi divided by 2 pi. Answer would be 20. That's the answer that you will be getting. That's it. So within seconds, within minutes, we will be able to solve this question. Within a minute, we will be able to solve. I would simply see, sir, this is the region, it will be symmetric about the origin. Since it is symmetric about the origin, x plus y I can take aside. This will come out to be 0. Tan dx dy, tan will come outside, it will become 5 by pi. What is the surface area? That will be pi r square. So 4 pi will be the surface area. So 4 pi will be the surface area, and 5 by pi is already outside. So what is the answer? 5 by pi multiply with 4 pi. Answer will be 20. That's it. Without even picking up the pen, we can solve these kind of problems in the examination hall. If your concepts are very good. Otherwise, you can take x equals to r cos theta, y equals to r sin theta, dx dy would be r dr d theta. Then you take the limit of r, you take the limit of theta. You will notice that this will come out to be 0 only. Okay. Let's go to the next one. This is a gate PYQ only. You should be able to solve this question. If you are not able to solve, then I will be disappointed. Even though this diagram was not given, no, still you should be able to solve it. If you are not able to solve, then there is a problem. Because have we studied polar curves? Yes, sir, we have studied polar curves. So should you be able to solve this question? Absolutely, you should be able to solve this question. Is it a closed curve? First, you let me know. Is it a closed curve? Yes, sir. It is a closed curve only. In which direction they are moving? The magnitude of the line integral. They are talking about the magnitude of the line integral. That means in whichever direction you move, you need to take the positive value only. So let's just say we are moving in the clockwise direction. Okay, I am taking the anti-clockwise direction. I need to take the positive value only, because what they are talking about the magnitude. Okay. So whether you take clockwise or anti-clockwise, the difference would be of the negative sign only. So negative sign will be compensated by the magnitude. So x equals to r cos theta, y equals to r sin theta, r equals to 1 plus cos theta. R equals to 1 plus cos theta. If this diagram was not given, would you be able to make it? Yes, sir, I would be able to make it. But now the diagram is given. What you need to calculate? F dot closed line integral, magnitude of the line integral of vector field around the closed curve. So what you need to calculate? Closed line integral f dot dl you are supposed to calculate. What is f? F is minus y I cap plus x j cap dot product with dx I cap plus dy j cap. What you are getting? For the closed curve, minus y dx. It is a closed curve, no? It is a closed curve. So why I need to solve? What I would do is that, what I would do? I can solve as well, or both of the methods I can do, no? I guess the first method would be easier. Because from where to where r is moving, r is going from 0 to 1 plus cos theta. No, r is constant, r is 1 plus cos theta only. Yeah, two methods we can solve it. One would be applying the Gauss theorem, applying the Stokes theorem. What I can do, I can apply the Stokes theorem, no? One would be applying the Stokes theorem. So method 1, applying the Stokes theorem with Stokes theorem. So with Stokes theorem you solve it. What you will be getting? F dot dl would be equals to del cross f dot ds. You calculate the del cos f for this. Okay, again I cap j cap function of x comma y. So again the scenario would be that this would be differentiated with respect to x and this would be differentiated with respect to y. Answer would come out to be 2 only. The answer would come out to be 2 k cap. Okay, 2 k cap will be the answer, and then ds could be written as dx dy k cap because it is in the xy plane, no? So dx dy k cap. So dx dy k cap. So what is your answer? Eventually your answer is that you need to find out the surface area of this particular scenario. Have we studied this or not? Say yes or no. Surface area, this surface area you are supposed to find out. Now what is your target? That this surface area you are supposed to find out. Have we studied this surface area or not? In our notes only, in the integral calculus. Absolutely sir, we have studied it. So this is our target, 2 dx dy. This is what we are supposed to calculate. So pages we will have to add 1 2 pages. So 2 double integral dx dy with this is something I am supposed to calculate. So here x is r cos theta, y is r sin theta, dx dy is r dr d theta. R is going from r is 0 here, r is going from 0 to 1 plus cos theta, r is going from 0 to 1 plus cos theta, and theta is going from 0 to 2 pi, theta is going from 0 to 2 pi. One thing you can notice that sir, whatever the happening from, what is your r? R is the distance from origin. So r is 0 here, r equals to 0 here, r equals to 0 here, and what is the value of r here? R value of r is 1 plus cos theta here, 1 plus cos theta here. And what is the angle theta? Angle theta is the angle made with the positive x-axis. Positive x-axis. So theta can go from complete 0 to 2 pi. But you can notice one thing that sir, whatever that I am getting from 0 to pi, the same I will get from 0 to 2 pi as well. Whatever that I am getting from 0 to pi, the same I will get from pi to 2 pi as well. So how I can break it? I can break it in this way. That 2, another 2 I will take outside, it will become 4 with theta going from 0 to pi. I am not putting 2 pi, theta going from 0 to pi. Why is that so? Because 2 already I have taken outside. And r going from 0 to 1 plus cos theta. Why I have written r first? Because r is the variable limit that I need to solve first. Dx dy would be replaced as r dr d theta. So answer you will be getting is 4 theta going from 0 to pi, r square by 2, that will become 1 plus cos theta by 2 whole square dot d theta. R square by 2, 1 plus cos theta, it will become r square by 2, no? Just a second. R dr would give you r square by 2. Then you would put the limit 1 plus cos theta whole square divided by 2. 1 plus cos theta whole square divided by 2. So 2 with integral goes from 0 to pi, 1 plus cos square theta plus 2 cos theta d theta. Okay. So what we are getting? 2 pi and then pi by 2. Inside this 2 comes outside, then integration of d theta will be theta only, theta, so it will give you pi plus this integration you need to do on your own. Okay, I am not responsible for the integration now, and this will give you pi by 2, because cos square theta can be written as 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So this will give you 0, this will give you 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 d theta, so 3 by 2 theta, 3 by 2 pi. So 3 pi will be the answer. 3 pi will be the answer that we are getting. 3 pi is the answer that we are getting. Answer is not written. I am not sure about the answer. Answer is 3 pi that we are getting. This is the answer that we are getting. 3 pi is the answer. Okay. It would be correct only. 3 pi is the answer that we are getting. So this dx dy, this process I don't even need to do because I have already taught you this process. This process has been already taught in the integral calculus. Again and again, same thing is not necessary to be taught. Right, r dr d theta, limit of r is going from 0 to 1 plus cos theta, theta limit is going from 0 to 2 pi, but I am making it from 0 to pi because whatever that is happening from 0 to pi, the same is happening from pi to 2 pi. This is a gate PYQ only. People think that, sir, you taught polar curves in a much depth manner, sir, it is not relevant for gate examination. In gate 2023, 2 marks of question. So everything is relevant. Whatever that I am teaching, no, everything is relevant. It will become relevant in the question paper, not before that. Okay. Now method 2. I will directly solve from here. Method 2 will be, I will directly solve from here. So what I will do? I will solve with method 2. What is your method 2? What you are supposed to calculate? You are supposed to calculate f dot dl, f dot dl. Minus y dx plus x dy, minus y dx plus x dy. You are moving over the curve C, right? On the curve C, value of x is r cos theta. On the curve C, what is the value of r? On the curve C, the value of r is constant, no? That is nothing but, value of r is constant, that is nothing but 1 plus cos theta. On the curve, when you are moving on this curve, when you are moving on this particular curve, this is how the curve is looking like, no? How the curve would look like? This is how the curve would look like. This is how the curve would look like. So when you are moving on this curve, what is the value of r? So the value of r is fixed, which is 1 plus cos theta. What is the value of x here, sir? Value of r is fixed. What is the value of x here, sir? So the value of x is nothing but r cos theta. So value of x actually could be written as 1 plus cos theta multiply with cos theta. And what would be the value of r? Sir, value of r is r sin theta. So 1 plus cos theta sin theta, right? So this is how they could be written. So from here I can see that, sir, x is coming out to be cos theta plus cos square theta, cos theta plus cos square theta, and y is coming out to be sin theta plus, y is r sin theta, no? Y is r sin theta, and r is 1 plus cos theta, sin theta plus sin theta cos theta. Look, calculation will be complex here, right? Now dx you need to find out. So what will be your dx? Dx will come out to be sin theta, cos theta will have a negative sin theta, plus 2 cos theta, then sin theta, differentiation of sin theta will be negative, differentiation of cos theta will be negative sin theta, right? So from here what you are getting, this is the dx that you are getting, let it be. And what about y? Y could be written as sin theta plus sin theta plus cos theta. So again things are complex here, calculation will go complex here only. So I can write it down as sin 2 theta divided by 2, right? 2 sin 2 theta divided by 2. So what will be your dy? Dy will be cos theta plus 2 cos 2 theta divided by 2. So what you are getting? Cos theta plus cos 2 theta, right? So this is your dx and this is your dy. What is your dy? This is your dy. Okay, this is your dy. What is minus y? Minus y is, and what is dx? Minus y dx. So it will come out to be sin theta plus sin theta by 2. So you can see that sin theta plus, what is sin theta by 2? That is nothing but sin theta cos theta. Sin theta cos theta will be multiplied with, also I forgot to multiply d theta here. Here also d theta, multiply with d theta, will be multiplied with sin theta. This is your y, this is your dx, will be multiplied with sin theta plus 2 sin theta cos theta dot d theta plus, look, so much of lengthy calculation, right? Sin square theta, sin 2 theta, this is lengthy calculation would keep on going. So the result is that it will be lengthy calculation. Although you can solve it, you will get the same answer, but the calculation is lengthy. Okay, so I just told you that without even applying that Stokes theorem also we can solve it, but with the Stokes theorem very easily we are getting the answer. Del cross f dot ds, del cross f you calculate, it will come out to be 2k cap 2 dx dy. Now the question is that you calculate the surface area. The surface area I already know how to calculate. Job done. Let's go to the next question. Try solving this one. In 2022 only it has been asked. Very simple question. Vector field f is given. You need to calculate the line integral f dot dl, which follows the parabola y equals to x square. It is following the parabola y equals to x square. Y equals to x square. It is following the parabola with x equals to minus 1, comma 1, 2. It is going to x equals to 2, comma 4. This is where it is going. So f dot dl you need to calculate. F dot dl you need to calculate. This is ax cap, okay? This is ay cap. I hope you will be able to understand. This is ax cap and this is ay cap. So what is your vector field? Vector field is y I cap minus x j cap. Dot dl, dl will be dx I cap plus dy j cap. I hope you are able to understand the vector field. This is y I cap minus x j cap. This is your vector field, right? So what you are getting? Y dx minus x dy. Y dx minus x dy. You can take all of them in single variable. If x is t, then y will become t square, dx will become dt, dy will become 2t dt. How the limit of t will go? How the limit of t will go? X is moving from -1 to 2. X is moving from -1 to 2. So t will also move from -1 to 2 only. That's it. X equals to t, no? X equals to t. So if x is moving from -1 to 2, from -1 to 2. So t will also move from -1 to 2. That's it. Okay. So what is y? Y is t square. What is dx? Dx is dt. Minus what is x? X is t. What is dy? That is 2t dt. And from where to where t will move? From -1 to 2. So what you are getting? Minus from -1 to 2 t square dot dt. T cube by 3. T cube by 3 from -1 to 2. So what answer we have? Minus sign outside, 8/3. So -3 is the answer that we are getting. Yes. So when you solve it, you put the limit, the answer that you are getting is -3. Okay, so simply put the limit, the answer you get is -3. It should have been solved without even looking at the solution. You should not be looking at the solution for these kind of questions now. Simply a parabola is there, f dot dl you calculate. It is not a closed line integral, so you cannot apply any theorem. So simply y dx minus x dy. Now you need to put the variables x equals to t, y equals to t square. So calculate the answer. T square dot dt minus t dot 2t dt minus t square dot dt minus 1 to 2. Job done. Okay. Solve this question. You need to calculate the integral in the counterclockwise direction along the circle x square plus y square equals to 1 at z equals to 1. Well, what is the scenario here is that the scenario is that there is a circle which is x square plus y square equals to 1. Let's say this is your x, this is your y, and this is your z. So you need to calculate your line integral, closed line integral you need to calculate along the curve of x square plus y square equals to 1. This is what they are saying. Line integral you need to calculate, f dot dl you need to calculate along the curve which is a closed line. Circle will be a closed line, no? But z would be equals to 1. That means the circle is made at z equals to 1. Circle is made at z equals to 1. That's it. This is what they are saying. That at z equals to 1 the circle is made. X square plus y square equals to 1. This circle has been made at z equals to 1. So on this circle, and in which direction? Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. Counterclockwise means like this. Counterclockwise means like this. Okay. So on this particular circle, what is the value of z? On this particular circle, the value of z is 1. And what is the value of x and y? That is x square plus y square equals to 1. So what you are supposed to calculate? F dot dl. F dot dl. Closed line integral it is. So what I can do? I can replace this as del cross f dot ds. Say yes or no. Right? What will be my ds vector? So ds vector directly I can see that it will be nothing but dx dy because it is z equals to constant. So dx dy direction would be, you take this hand, you can see that direction will be plus k cap. So now our target is that only you calculate del cross f. So can I calculate del cross f? Yes sir, I can calculate del cross f very easily. I cap, j cap, k cap, del y del x, del y del y, del y del z. Yz I cap, yz I cap, yz I cap 0 0. So what answer you will be getting? With respect to I cap 0, with respect to j cap also. Okay, wait a second. With respect to I cap, you will be getting everything 0. With respect to minus j cap, what you will be getting? Differentiation 0. Here you will get minus y. And with respect to k cap, what you will be getting? With respect to k cap, what you will be getting? You will be getting z. Right? So what you are getting, z k cap plus y j cap. This is what you are getting, z k cap plus y j cap. So here my surface integral is z k cap plus y j cap. And what is your ds? The ds I already know, that would be dx dy k cap. Now you know that sir k cap will give you 1, but j cap dot k cap will give you 0. So your surface integral is coming out to be z dx dy. Now when you are calculating the surface integral, that means you are on this surface now. So on this particular surface, on this whole disk surface, what is the value of z? The value of z is 1 only, no? The value of z is always 1. On the whole surface, the value of z is 1 only. And the for k cap it is coming out to be negative sign, okay? Here it is negative sign. It will be minus z k cap. Here it is coming out, it is having negative sign here. Just calculate that. If you calculate this curl, it is coming out to be minus z k cap. Okay, this is the negative sign we are having. So one negative sign we have. Okay, so over this in the surface area, in this surface area, what is the value of z? So the value of z is 1 only. So this can be replaced as minus double integral dx dy. So that means they are simply asking about the surface area of this. So what is the surface area of this? So that is nothing but pi r square. Pi r square. That will be the area. So area is nothing but pi. So area is pi, but negative sign will be outside. So what is the answer? Answer is minus pi. Understandable? These kind of questions are very easily you will be able to solve it in the examination hall. So what is the answer? Answer is minus pi. Since we are studying for a very long time in a very good manner, these kind of questions should not be a matter of concern for you. Very easily you should be able to solve. X square plus y square equals to 1. Simply calculate the area, then put the value. I cap, j cap, k cap, del by del x, del by del y, del by del z. You calculate the integral, del cross f dot ds, and then simply put the values. It will come in the j cap direction, it will come in the k cap direction only, minus z dx dy. Value of z on the surface, over the surface you are calculating, on the surface value of z is always 1. We can take it outside, and the answer, the surface area is pi only. So answer will be minus pi, because there is minus sign already outside. That's it. Okay, so this is your lecture second on vector calculus. Again we need to solve some questions only. So one more lecture we will see, there we will solve questions only. Okay, but we have the window actually, but let's keep this lecture of 2.5 hours only. One more lecture we will see, there also we will solve the questions. Here you would have understood some concepts. Concepts are mostly completed, only problem solving we need to do now. Okay, so let's see some more questions after this lecture. Okay, thank you.